international cricket. The 32-year-old reiterated his class, taking 7 wickets in the match, including 3 in his first over. But part of the Sussex man's exile from the England team was down to doubts from management over his fitness and ability to hold his pace in repeated spells over a long period. In being forced to sit out the test at the Oval, Robinson must wait for another opportunity to prove he is durable enough for the international arena. And a couple of results from the ICC Women's T20 World Cup. Group 1, Bangladesh women beat Netherlands women by 6 wickets, and India women beat Pakistan women by 64 runs. Rugby League now, and Josh Charnley broke the Super League all-time try-scoring record to help Lee Leopards win 38-12 at Bradford Bulls. The 34-year-old grabbed a hat-trick at Odsal to take him up to 272 tries, one clear of Leeds Rhinos winger Ryan Hall. Charnley, who limped off with 15 minutes to go, now has 16 tries this season, behind only the Rhinos' Maker Sivo. And finally it's darts, and England won the World Cup of Darts for a record-extending 6th time as Luke Littler and Luke Humphries overcame the Netherlands 10-5 in Frankfurt. The top seeds defeated Wales and Scotland earlier on Sunday to set up a tantalising best-of-19 legs final against second seeds Michael van Gerwen and Jan van Veen. Littler and Humphries' shock second-round exit to host Germany last year cast doubt over the partnership, but they averaged more than 104 and hit 15 finishes over 140 plus to overpower the Dutch. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. Let's start with football. And Germany made a confident start to their World Cup campaign with a 7-1 win over tournament debutants Curaçao in Group E. Felix Nemetcha opened the scoring just 6 minutes in, but Germany was stunned when Levano Comenencia levelled with Curaçao's first ever World Cup goal. It was a jubilant moment for a nation with a total population of 160,000 who had become the smallest to ever reach and score at the World Cup. However, a Nico Schlotterbeck header and Havertz's penalty soon restored Germany's advantage before half-time. Just a minute into the second half, Jamal Musiala slotted the ball into the far corner from Joshua Kimmich's threaded pass before Germany struck again in the 68th minute when Florian Wirtz's pass was flicked by Dennis Undav to Nathaniel Brown, who hooked a volley into the bottom corner. A comfortable display saw further goals in the second half from Undav and Havertz as Germany wrapped up 3 points in their first Group E game. Off the field of play, and Real Madrid have agreed a deal worth up to £51.8 million to sign Chelsea defender Marc Cucurella after the World Cup. The 27-year-old is currently with Spain at the tournaments in the United States, Canada and Mexico, but a deal worth £47.5 million with a further £4.3 million in add-ons has been struck between all parties for a permanent transfer. And Tottenham right-back Pedro Porro has signed a new long-term contract with the club. The length of the deal has not been disclosed by Spurs, but the contract is understood to run until 2031. Porro had 2 years remaining on the deal he signed when he joined Spurs on a permanent transfer from Sporting in the summer of 2023. Formula One now, and an emotional Lewis Hamilton took his first victory for Ferrari in a compelling Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix as championship leader Kimi Antonelli retired from second place with 4 laps to go. It was a dramatic end to a gripping race that had tension and jeopardy throughout as Hamilton secured his first victory since the 2024 Belgian Grand Prix when he was still driving for Mercedes. The win turned on a virtual safety car period which allowed Hamilton on a different pit stop strategy to Mercedes to pit and retain the lead. Meanwhile, Antonelli had just passed Russell for second place with 5 laps to go after a race-long battle when his car ground to a halt because of an electrical shutdown. Russell finished second after McLaren's Lando Norris was third in the first all-British podium since the 1968 US Grand Prix. Tennis now, and Emma Raducanu missed the chance to win her first title since her 2021 US Open triumph as she was beaten in the Queen's final by Croatia's Donna Vekic. Raducanu paid the price for a slow start as she lost 6-love 7-6 to Vekic, who was a Wimbledon semi-finalist 2 years ago. The Briton valiantly fought off 3 championship points at 6-5 in the second set and saved a fourth on Vekic's serve in the tiebreak, but could not deny her opponent on the fifth as she sprayed a forehand wide. Vekic was a lucky loser, meaning she was beaten in qualifying and put into the draw when French Open semi-finalist Marta Kostyuk pulled out injured and has taken full advantage of her fortune to lift the trophy. Cricket now, and England's preparations for the second test against New Zealand have suffered another setback as Ollie Robinson was ruled out with soreness in his right knee. The seamer's absence follows captain Ben Stokes and pace bowler Gus Atkinson being made unavailable for Wednesday's contest at the Oval, pending an investigation into their involvement in an incident in a London nightclub. Missing the second test is a huge personal blow for Robinson, who only made his comeback in the first test after a 2-year absence from international cricket. The 32-year-old reiterated his class, taking 7 wickets in the match, including 3 in his first over. But part of the Sussex man's exile from the England team was down to doubts from management over his fitness and ability to hold his pace in repeated spells over a long period. In being forced to sit out the test at the Oval, Robinson must wait for another opportunity to prove he is durable enough for the international arena. And a couple of results from the ICC Women's T20 World Cup. Group 1, Bangladesh women beat Netherlands women by 6 wickets, and India women beat Pakistan women by 64 runs. Rugby League now, and Josh Charnley broke the Super League all-time try-scoring record to help Lee Leopards win 38-12 at Bradford Bulls. The 34-year-old grabbed a hat-trick at Odsal to take him up to 272 tries, one clear of Leeds Rhinos winger Ryan Hall. Charnley, who limped off with 15 minutes to go, now has 16 tries this season, behind only the Rhinos' Maker Sivo. And finally it's darts, and England won the World Cup of Darts for a record-extending 6th time as Luke Littler and Luke Humphries overcame the Netherlands 10-5 in Frankfurt. The top seeds defeated Wales and Scotland earlier on Sunday to set up a tantalising best-of-19 legs final against second seeds Michael van Gerwen and Jan van Veen. Littler and Humphries' shock second-round exit to host Germany last year cast doubt over the partnership, but they averaged more than 104 and hit 15 finishes over 140 plus to overpower the Dutch. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. Let's start with football. And Germany made a confident start to their World Cup campaign with a 7-1 win over tournament debutants Curaçao in Group E. Felix Nemetcha opened the scoring just 6 minutes in, but Germany was stunned when Levano Comenencia levelled with Curaçao's first ever World Cup goal. It was a jubilant moment for a nation with a total population of 160,000 who had become the smallest to ever reach and score at the World Cup. However, a Nico Schlotterbeck header and Havertz's penalty soon restored Germany's advantage before half-time. Just a minute into the second half, Jamal Musiala slotted the ball into the far corner from Joshua Kimmich's threaded pass before Germany struck again in the 68th minute when Florian Wirtz's pass was flicked by Dennis Undav to Nathaniel Brown, who hooked a volley into the bottom corner. A comfortable display saw further goals in the second half from Undav and Havertz as Germany wrapped up 3 points in their first Group E game. Off the field of play, and Real Madrid have agreed a deal worth up to £51.8 million to sign Chelsea defender Marc Cucurella after the World Cup. The 27-year-old is currently with Spain at the tournaments in the United States, Canada and Mexico, but a deal worth £47.5 million with a further £4.3 million in add-ons has been struck between all parties for a permanent transfer. And Tottenham right-back Pedro Porro has signed a new long-term contract with the club. The length of the deal has not been disclosed by Spurs, but the contract is understood to run until 2031. Porro had 2 years remaining on the deal he signed when he joined Spurs on a permanent transfer from Sporting in the summer of 2023. Formula One now, and an emotional Lewis Hamilton took his first victory for Ferrari in a compelling Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix as championship leader Kimi Antonelli retired from second place with 4 laps to go. It was a dramatic end to a gripping race that had tension and jeopardy throughout as Hamilton secured his first victory since the 2024 Belgian Grand Prix when he was still driving for Mercedes. The win turned on a virtual safety car period which allowed Hamilton on a different pit stop strategy to Mercedes to pit and retain the lead. Meanwhile, Antonelli had just passed Russell for second place with 5 laps to go after a race-long battle when his car ground to a halt because of an electrical shutdown. Russell finished second after McLaren's Lando Norris was third in the first all-British podium since the 1968 US Grand Prix. Tennis now, and Emma Raducanu missed the chance to win her first title since her 2021 US Open triumph as she was beaten in the Queen's final by Croatia's Donna Vekic. Raducanu paid the price for a slow start as she lost 6-love, 7-6 to Vekic who was a Wimbledon semi-finalist 2 years ago. The Briton valiantly fought off 3 championship points at 6-5 in the second set and saved a fourth on Bekic's serve in the tiebreak, but could not deny her opponent on the fifth as she sprayed a forehand wide. Vekic was a lucky loser, meaning she was beaten in qualifying and put into the draw when French Open semi-finalist Marta Kostyuk pulled out injured and has taken full advantage of her fortune to lift the trophy. Cricket now, and England's preparations for the second test against New Zealand have suffered another setback as Ollie Robinson was ruled out with soreness in his right knee. The seamer's absence follows captain Ben Stokes and pace bowler Gus Atkinson being made unavailable for Wednesday's contest at the Oval, pending an investigation into their involvement in an incident in a London nightclub. Missing the second test is a huge personal blow for Robinson, who only made his comeback in the first test after a 2-year absence from international cricket. The 32-year-old reiterated his class, taking 7 wickets in the match, including 3 in his first over. But part of the Sussex man's exile from the England team was down to doubts from management over his fitness and ability to hold his pace in repeated spells over a long period. In being forced to sit out the test at the Oval, Robinson must wait for another opportunity to prove he is durable enough for the international arena. And a couple of results from the ICC Women's T20 World Cup. Group 1, Bangladesh women beat Netherlands women by 6 wickets, and India women beat Pakistan women by 64 runs. Rugby League now, and Josh Charnley broke the Super League all-time try-scoring record to help Lee Leopards win 38-12 at Bradford Bulls. The 34-year-old grabbed a hat-trick at Odsal to take him up to 272 tries, one clear of Leeds Rhinos winger Ryan Hall. Charnley, who limped off with 15 minutes to go, now has 16 tries this season, behind only the Rhinos' Maker Sivo. And finally it's darts, and England won the World Cup of Darts for a record-extending 6th time as Luke Littler and Luke Humphries overcame the Netherlands 10-5 in Frankfurt. The top seeds defeated Wales and Scotland earlier on Sunday to set up a tantalising best-of-19 legs final against second seeds Michael van Gerwen and Jan van Veen. Littler and Humphries' shock second-round exit to host Germany last year cast doubt over the partnership, but they averaged more than 104 and hit 15 finishes over 140 plus to overpower the Dutch. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. Let's start with football. And Germany made a confident start to their World Cup campaign with a 7-1 win over tournament debutants Curaçao in Group E. Felix Nemetcha opened the scoring just 6 minutes in, but Germany was stunned when Levano Comenencia levelled with Curaçao's first ever World Cup goal. It was a jubilant moment for a nation with a total population of 160,000 who had become the smallest to ever reach and score at the World Cup. However, a Nico Schlotterbeck header and Havertz's penalty soon restored Germany's advantage before half-time. Just a minute into the second half, Jamal Musiala slotted the ball into the far corner from Joshua Kimmich's threaded pass before Germany struck again in the 68th minute when Florian Wirtz's pass was flicked by Dennis Undav to Nathaniel Brown, who hooked a volley into the bottom corner. A comfortable display saw further goals in the second half from Undav and Havertz as Germany wrapped up 3 points in their first Group E game. Off the field of play, and Real Madrid have agreed a deal worth up to £51.8 million to sign Chelsea defender Marc Cucurella after the World Cup. The 27-year-old is currently with Spain at the tournaments in the United States, Canada and Mexico, but a deal worth £47.5 million with a further £4.3 million in add-ons has been struck between all parties for a permanent transfer. And Tottenham right-back Pedro Porro has signed a new long-term contract with the club. The length of the deal has not been disclosed by Spurs, but the contract is understood to run until 2031. Porro had 2 years remaining on the deal he signed when he joined Spurs on a permanent transfer from Sporting in the summer of 2023. Formula 1 now, and an emotional Lewis Hamilton took his first victory for Ferrari in a compelling Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix as championship leader Kimi Antonelli retired from second place with 4 laps to go. It was a dramatic end to a gripping race that had tension and jeopardy throughout as Hamilton secured his first victory since the 2024 Belgian Grand Prix when he was still driving for Mercedes. The win turned on a virtual safety car period which allowed Hamilton on a different pit stop strategy to Mercedes to pit and retain the lead. Meanwhile, Antonelli had just passed Russell for second place with 5 laps to go after a race-long battle when his car ground to a halt because of an electrical shutdown. Russell finished second after McLaren's Lando Norris was third in the first all-British podium since the 1968 US Grand Prix. Tennis now, and Emma Raducanu missed the chance to win her first title since her 2021 US Open triumph, as she was beaten in the Queen's final by Croatia's Donna Vekic. Raducanu paid the price for a slow start as she lost 6-love, 7-6 to Vekic, who was a Wimbledon semi-finalist 2 years ago. The Briton valiantly fought off 3 championship points at 6-5 in the second set and saved a fourth on Vekic's serve in the tiebreak, but could not deny her opponent on the fifth as she sprayed a forehand wide. Vekic was a lucky loser, meaning she was beaten in qualifying and put into the draw when French Open semi-finalist Marta Kostyuk pulled out injured and has taken full advantage of her fortune to lift the trophy. Cricket now, and England's preparations for the second test against New Zealand have suffered another setback as Ollie Robinson was ruled out with soreness in his right knee. The seamer's absence follows captain Ben Stokes and pace bowler Gus Atkinson being made unavailable for Wednesday's contest at the Oval, pending an investigation into their involvement in an incident in a London nightclub. Missing the second test is a huge personal blow for Robinson, who only made his comeback in the first test after a 2-year absence from international cricket. The 32-year-old reiterated his class, taking 7 wickets in the match, including 3 in his first over. But part of the Sussex man's exile from the England team was down to doubts from management over his fitness and ability to hold his pace in repeated spells over a long period. In being forced to sit out the test at the Oval, Robinson must wait for another opportunity to prove he is durable enough for the international arena. And a couple of results from the ICC Women's T20 World Cup. Group 1, Bangladesh women beat Netherlands women by 6 wickets, and India women beat Pakistan women by 64 runs. Rugby League now, and Josh Charnley broke the Super League all-time try-scoring record to help Lee Leopards win 38-12 at Bradford Bulls. The 34-year-old grabbed a hat-trick at Odsal to take him up to 272 tries, one clear of Leeds Rhinos winger Ryan Hall. Charnley, who limped off with 15 minutes to go, now has 16 tries this season, behind only the Rhinos' Maker Sivo. And finally it's darts, and England won the World Cup of Darts for a record-extending 6th time as Luke Littler and Luke Humphries overcame the Netherlands 10-5 in Frankfurt. The top seeds defeated Wales and Scotland earlier on Sunday to set up a tantalising best-of-19 legs final against second seeds Michael van Gerwen and Jan van Veen. Littler and Humphries' shock second-round exit to host Germany last year cast doubt over the partnership, but they averaged more than 104 and hit 15 finishes over 140 plus to overpower the Dutch. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. Let's start with football. And Germany made a confident start to their World Cup campaign with a 7-1 win over tournament debutants Curaçao in Group E. Felix Nemetcha opened the scoring just 6 minutes in, but Germany was stunned when Levano Comenencia levelled with Curaçao's first ever World Cup goal. It was a jubilant moment for a nation with a total population of 160,000 who had become the smallest to ever reach and score at the World Cup. However, a Nico Schlotterbeck header and Havertz's penalty soon restored Germany's advantage before half-time. Just a minute into the second half, Jamal Musiala slotted the ball into the far corner from Joshua Kimmich's threaded pass before Germany struck again in the 68th minute when Florian Wirtz's pass was flicked by Dennis Undav to Nathaniel Brown, who hooked a volley into the bottom corner. A comfortable display saw further goals in the second half from Undav and Havertz as Germany wrapped up 3 points in their first Group E game. Off the field of play, and Real Madrid have agreed a deal worth up to £51.8 million to sign Chelsea defender Marc Cucurella after the World Cup. The 27-year-old is currently with Spain at the tournaments in the United States, Canada and Mexico, but a deal worth £47.5 million with a further £4.3 million in add-ons has been struck between all parties for a permanent transfer. And Tottenham right-back Pedro Porro has signed a new long-term contract with the club. The length of the deal has not been disclosed by Spurs, but the contract is understood to run until 2031. Porro had 2 years remaining on the deal he signed when he joined Spurs on a permanent transfer from Sporting in the summer of 2023. Formula One now, and an emotional Lewis Hamilton took his first victory for Ferrari in a compelling Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix as championship leader Kimi Antonelli retired from second place with 4 laps to go. It was a dramatic end to a gripping race that had tension and jeopardy throughout as Hamilton secured his first victory since the 2024 Belgian Grand Prix when he was still driving for Mercedes. The win turned on a virtual safety car period which allowed Hamilton on a different pit stop strategy to Mercedes to pit and retain the lead. Meanwhile, Antonelli had just passed Russell for second place with 5 laps to go after a race-long battle when his car ground to a halt because of an electrical...
Al-Amri and Moteb Al-Amri. In midfield, it's Mohamed Abu Al-Shamat, Mohamed Kano, Abdullah Al-Kebari and Salam Al-Dossari, their captain, with 2 strikers, Musab Al-Juwaya and Ferris Al-Brikan. For Uruguay, they have Fernando Muslera in goal, and a back 4, Mateus Vinia, Matthias Oliveira, Sebastian Caceres and Guillermo Varela. In midfield they have Maximiliano Araujo, Rodrigo Bentancur, Manuel Ugarte and Federico Valverde, with 2 strikers also, Darwin Nunez and Federico Viñas. Well, we're closing in on kick-off and it's a Group H game. We'd already seen Cabo Verde grab a brilliant draw against Spain in the earlier group game. This game sees Saudi Arabia take on Uruguay in Miami. And for Georgios Donis' team, they'll line up with Mohamed Al-Awais in goal. And then across the back, Saud Abdul Hamid, Hassan Al-Tambakti, Abdullah Al-Amri and Moteb Al-Amri. In midfield, it's Mohamed Abu Al-Shamat, Mohamed Kano, Abdullah Al-Kebari and Salam Al-Dossari, their captain, with 2 strikers, Musab Al-Juwaya and Ferris Al-Brikan. For Uruguay, they have Fernando Muslera in goal, and a back 4, Mateus Vinia, Matthias Oliveira, Sebastian Caceres and Guillermo. Well, it's a very warm welcome. We haven't kicked off yet, of course we haven't. It's only 2 minutes past 11. I'm John Hogan, I'm joined by Nathan Wastel. It's Saudi Arabia against Uruguay, the Falcons against La Celeste. You've just been looking at the weather forecast, haven't you, Nathan?
I have, and it looks slightly worrying actually. There's a thunderstorm expected and a bit of light rain as well, so of course life in Florida, it's very unpredictable. It's a bit monsoonish, isn't it? So hopefully they'll whip up a storm on the pitch as well. We see some good football in an hour and a half.
Absolutely. Anyway, 76% humidity, as Nathan squeaks merrily next to me on his chair, as many squeaks. Bentancur has a word with Federico Valverde as La Celeste all gather together. They've got their blue shirts on, but they are disappointing. Their white shorts and white socks, not the dark ones, probably because the Saudi team have got green shirts but black shorts and socks, so that's the difference anyway, for what that's worth. So yeah, let's have a big chat about it. We could always kick off, lads, if you want to. Anyway,
it's been a theme for me in this tournament, late kickoffs. I've seen it quite a few times.
Well, what it is, it's all governed by floor manager, and when he says that they've squeezed enough adverts in, then he gives the referee the thumbs up. A lot on the shoulders of Darwin Nunez, I would have said. You look at this Uruguay side, there's not a lot of goals, not really. Viñas alongside him has only scored 2. Even the captain, Federico Valverde, has got 9. There are more goals in the Saudi team. Musab Al-Juwaya, he's grabbed 6. Faras Al-Brikan, 15, and their captain Al-Dossari, 27. We have liftoff in Miami, and so Saudi start. And although they didn't kick for touch like we've seen a couple of times in the tournament, They more or less did. They went back and then the ball went up the flank, but nobody there to take advantage. So Varela got easy ball now back with the keeper, Fernando Muslera, who plays his football at Estudiantes. And for Uruguay, it's a sprinkling, really. You know, some in Argentina, some play Brazil. Obviously, we've got the Premier League players. Darwin Nunez now plays his football in Saudi, doesn't he, for Al Hilal? Long ball aimed at him. And they reckon that the standard of football in Saudi has gone up since the Saudi League, and all big money thrown at getting better players in there. And I guess like the Premier League has pulled up the English players to some degree. I guess that must be true in Saudi as well. Maybe. Or maybe not. But anyway, traditionally their arch enemies would be the UAE and Qatar. And of course we saw the Qataris get a 1-1 draw in their game against Switzerland. When I've seen Saudi Arabia before, well, they do have a famous victory under their belt, don't they, in the World Cup, Nathan?
They do. I mean, we talked about it, and the eventual champions of Qatar 2022 in Argentina, beaten by 2-1, went 1-0 down, of course, as well, and they ended up winning the game 2-1. I mean, it's the biggest win in their history, of course, but what Argentina can do, I think that Spain need to look at that result after the 0-0 earlier in this group, of course. But both these teams, of course, looking at Spain, it is Spain dropping points, essentially. They'd see that as a big chance, especially Uruguay. You think you want to be getting maximum points here to give yourself a brilliant chance of getting through.
Well, with all respect to Cape Verde, or Cabo Verde, as they now call themselves, which we should call them because that's what they want to be called. Everybody here, everybody else is going to think we could beat Cabo Verde. But I was mentioning the other day that they did at one point they got an incredible FIFA ranking of something like 36. I say it's incredible, but given the size that Cabo Verde is in the world, I'm pretty sure I'm thereabouts with that. But so actually they've been playing good football for a good long time. You know, you don't get that FIFA ranking for nothing. But they'd done a lot of damage in the sort of African qualifiers, and here they are by right. So the idea that they're going to be pushovers in this group, but I think that Uruguay and Saudi would both think that they'd be more liable to take points away from them than Spain, who would have been my idea of a good selection out of the tournament. Uruguay on the ball right now, just prodding it around. I weirdly think that virtually every game in the tournament has excited me to some degree, and this one I'm really struggling to think that it's going to be anything other than a bit of a judge. So I usually commentate it's curse. It's going to be exciting. At least I hope so. Anyway, and here an early opportunity then. Made ground with Vini down the left-hand side. Las Celeste ball goes back, and they recycle it. Caceres out with his feet. We were mentioning that Ugarte had not had a good season. Doesn't look quite good enough to be in the Premier League or off the showing of this season. Not that he got given too many opportunities. Here come Uruguay. The shot comes in. It's beaten away by Mohamed Al-Owais. And then a cross comes in from Vini, blocked away at the expense of a corner. So, well, that was the first real opportunity. And, well, when the shot come in, it was firmly struck by Araujo. And it seemed to catch the keeper out a little bit.
Yeah, Maximiliano Araujo, he's on the swivel, and he's caught it with the left. Right at Al-Owais. He's not happy with catching it. It came in at a pace, but Villan can get his body behind that and catch it, but he chose to punch it. It was right at him. And in the end, he's given away a corner, but moving the ball neatly are Uruguay. Some good savvy football so far.
Anyway, they take the corner kick. Araujo puts the ball in. It's not being cleared away, and well, then a little header down, but this time Alois drops on it. I think it came off Vinicius' nose. That seems to be a suggestion there. Oliveira was close to him as well as Uruguay win the ball high up the field here. One thing about their manager is he likes to play high energy and will throw all sorts of bodies up the field in order to gain them an advantage. He's a manager who can take a fairly humdrum team and elevate them, and he certainly did that with Leeds. They went far off relegation in Division 1 when he took hold of them, got them promoted, but obviously relegated as well. That was after he'd gone though. Anyway, it is Saudi Arabia 0, Uruguay 0, and they're trying to get on the front foot here. We all know about Darwin Núñez. I think he's a good player, but he does miss quite a few. There's a foul there, and that just allows, I think it was Varela just coming in a little bit late, just Saudis to get on the ball. So yeah, the Saudi Arabian game's not really started yet. They're on the ball now and just try to get a feel. Whenever I've seen them before, Saudi Arabia, I always think technically they're good passers, they're neat and tidy, but it always tends to be that they lacked a little bit of edge. I think they'd taken Spain as their idea of their way forward. You know, they see sort of tiki-taka as Araujo has a little battle here, and he loses out. Good strong challenge comes in then, and Mohamed Kano was the equal of that. So yeah, the Saudis might be a little bit slighter than the Uruguayans, but clearly he'd got a lot of fight in him. So I think they'd taken Spain as their blueprint of how to play. But we saw it with Spain today that sometimes a team can dig in behind that. It's all just passing in front. If nobody's got the ability to beat his man, and it did seem that Lamine Yamal just couldn't quite gain any ground today. That you know, it doesn't happen that teams can cope with the ball being passed in front of them, as Uruguay try and get stuck in there, but they lose the ball, and then nice little bit of play. Jouet drops a little bit deeper. He by trade really, I guess you'd say he's a winger. So on paper they're 4-4-2, but they're probably not really. I think they are maybe a bit heavier in midfield, and only El Brican might be a striker. As the ball is out to El Jouet, doing exactly what he said, playing as a sort of winger really. So if you're 4-5-1, you're sort of defensive minded really. They don't want to get outrun in midfield, do they? Clearly. Uruguay may well be 4-4-2 with Vinícius alongside Núñez. There's the ball turned around the corner by El Jouet. Should have been defended a little bit better, but the ball breaks nicely. Araujo, good touch, and then it's been given away. Matthias Vini, the River Plate man, losing the ball, and then a sloppy ball forward from the captain El Desori, and he's given the ball away. So chance for Varela. Do you know what? I was thinking this might be a boring game, but then I forget that Bielsa's manager, so his team will be they'll be all out. Fullbacks banging forward, trying to get in the overlap. Loads of players in the box. He will gamble that you know, 3 or 4 will be able to defend anything that comes their way. You know, sometimes even a 3. He lets his centre backs he's holding midfield to deal with it. They're not a 4-1-4-1. He seems to have maybe addressed that a little bit. And at the moment, Uruguay playing out from the back. It's a good ball drilled out to Vini. Instant control from him. Tries to force it on the inside, but Abdul Hamid did well. He's I think the only player who plays his football in Europe out of the Saudi side. He's in the French league at Lens. As Al-Kebari gets on a little run, Al-Amri picks it up. A little heel for him, forced to go backwards to Al-Tambakti. It gets a little bit tight. Al-Kebari again chips it down the flank. Ball one back. Varela sticks a leg out, but Uruguay working hard to win the ball back, then they give it away. We've seen a lot of that today. Anyway, I haven't mentioned our referee today, Maurizio Mariani, because the game's just gone nicely and he's not needed to be involved really, which is unusual for Uruguay. I don't want to get into stereotyping, but they can be a little bit cutthroat. Our VAR referee, Marco Di Beo, today. Let's hope he's not involved at all. But you get the feeling that probably might happen at some point. Anyway, the ball laid all the way back now by Al Amri to his keeper. Alouis then chops it over the halfway line. Attempted flick on from Al Brican. He was beaten to it. Bit of head tennis now, which Uruguay are going to win. But Vinius had a forward to nobody in particular. Super scrappy this game so far, Nathan. Very difficult to get stuck into it, really.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that works well for Saudi Arabia. I think it does. It disrupts the flow of Uruguay. And we've seen it a couple of occasions when Saudi Arabia do come forward. There's a bit of promise there for them if they can get the right ball. Again, they're coming forward there and have not found the right ball. That's a couple of occasions, but they're here to compete. We've talked about Qatar earlier in the evening, didn't we, when the night was young. We talked about Qatar and we've talked about Cape Verde. Saudi Arabia the same. Teams you sort of count out, you know, they're not going to pick up points, but Qatar have picked up a point, so Cape Verde. You know, these teams are here to roll over, no matter how far down the rankings they are. All right, Curacao against Germany, maybe a bit of a write-off, you know. I think it was a great achievement, the fact they actually scored alone. So Saudi Arabia, I mean, the warning shot was the Argentina game 4 years ago, you know, and you can't count them out. And I think they're going to give Uruguay a game.
Weirdly, you know, I did the game where Brazil shipped in a load of goals with David Luiz getting the runaround. How many was it? 6 against Germany. So it can happen. It can happen to great teams. You know, let alone Curacao. Somebody's going to cop for a beating, aren't they? You know, but by and large, most teams have been competitive. I was surprised at the quality of Haiti against Scotland.
They held their own.
They were good. You know, it's like I was surprised how good they were. I was surprised, but my ignorance, but I didn't know. Now, how can you compare their conference or their players? You can't until you see it. You know, so here we go. It's very hot in Miami. Again, the Saudis would be used to playing in heat, I guess. I'm pretty sure most of their stadiums are somehow air conditioned or what have you, but even so, you can only do so much. But you know, their bodies would be acclimatized, be used to playing in heat. You know, that would be in their favour. You know, you think, oh well, Uruguay, it's South America and all that, but yeah, I don't know. I think that'd be on a par with Britain, really. Uruguay, it's that far down South America. But anyway, just blame my ignorance there. But I guess the heat would be in Saudi's favour, and also if they are a technical team, which I assume they are, you know, maybe that playing keep ball and Uruguay trying to play Bielsa ball is going to really tell on them, particularly come the end of the game. We did the early game, me and Nathan, and it was notable. A lot of players absolutely tanked in that game. Nathan's nodding, and you know, and the heat does that, and particularly the humidity as well. It's something to cope with.
I think in Florida, of course, there's grey clouds, there's thunderstorms, and that's because of that humidity, and it will be that way. And you know, come the hour mark onwards, it will be very tiring for them players, and it's all about how they can cope. I think what we haven't been used to seeing, especially in modern day football, is a slower paced game, and I think that's what we've seen in this tournament so far. Of course, that distills into the heat and the humidity, but I like that. Maybe a bit old school, but I like the slower game, and that's what we've seen so far in this tournament.
Yeah, not this one though. Uruguay
yet
playing like they're on fire, and the Saudis are playing into the gaps that Uruguay are leaving by chasing around so much. You know, it just doesn't suit the Bielsa team at all. But then again, of course, you know, I say that, but Bilbao, of course, played in Spain. I mean, northern Spain. But then they'd go to Seville and play exactly the same style of football. And we used to laugh when we did the Spanish league watching them about how either fit or broken their players must be playing for Bielsa for long enough. You know, particularly fullbacks. He asks a lot of those guys. Varela and Vinia will be feeling it today, I guess. The ball to Varela now, the Flamengo man. Plays football in Brazil. Rolls it to Valverde, who I would have to say is such a... I don't think he's underestimated anymore. I think everybody's caught up with the idea he's just a cracking good player. I've been a mainstay at Real Madrid now for a while. But they haven't found Darwin Núñez yet. He's at Al Hilal. We saw him at Liverpool. I thought he offered something because he's got pace there, and he runs past his defender and he breaks the line. I think he had good teammates who took advantage of that, and they haven't been able to do that since he was there. And obviously Liverpool have gone downhill. Not all down to him, because Diaz was brilliant. He's missing, and obviously an RIP Diogo Jota. But I thought Núñez added something to that lot that they haven't got right now. Anyway, it'd be interesting to see if he still misses as many. But as yet, Nathan, he hasn't been given a sniff.
No, he hasn't. He's nowhere near it at the minute. Of course, he's got big boots to fill, leading the line for Uruguay. He's only got 6 goals in Saudi Arabia, in the Saudi Arabian League this season, in the league just gone. So hasn't hit the back of the net too much. But yeah, like you say, not really much of a sniff. Two lads up top, and it's a patient game from Uruguay. They don't look like they're going all out for it just yet. Maybe they're just conserving energy for that humidity. But at the minute, yeah, it's not the high intensity Marcelo Bielsa we're used to seeing so far.
I think they're closing down hard enough, though. I think that they are expending expending too much energy, I would say.
But in a negative way.
But for little return, so it seems less obvious. He wants players closed down. He doesn't want his team to sit back and go into shape. He wants them to hold their shape and attack the ball at all times. So and we're seeing that now, which is allowing Saudi to play through them. They've done that really well right now. So El Brican tries to get the ball away. It's a poor ball, and again, Uruguay swarm wherever it is. They try and close down the passer. That's his style. Here comes Saudi Arabia, edge of the box. The shot comes in, and it's gone well wide and over. It did open up for El Dossari. I said he scored a few goals. He's got 27 in his career from 110 starts. It's not bad for a midfielder, is it? And it did all open up there.
I tell you what, the body language of the goalkeeper gave that away for me in the angle we're watching it on our screens. If he was scrambling, I'd have thought that was going to go in the corner. But he was stood there. He wasn't even watching the ball. He was already talking to his teammates, the Muslera in goal. But for me, I thought it was going to go in the far corner. It was further away than it indicated on our screen.
I think it's one of those, though. It hits the back of the net, the goalkeeper doesn't move. It goes wide, the goalkeeper doesn't move.
Just watch.
He's just watching it.
Passing it by.
He's not going to be able to do much. But anyway, we're looking at Georgios Donis, the head coach for Saudi Arabia. He'd be relatively pleased. El Dossari fouls his man, and Sebastian Caceres, who plays his football in Mexico for America, was brought down there, and now Varela just rolls it on his inside, and again with Caceres, and now Oliveira just jabs it with his outstep. We haven't mentioned the midfielders much, have we? Ugarte or Bentancur. The only two players we see on a fairly regular basis, and they've just not really been involved. I think Bentancur's a good player. There he is. Stabs the ball back. Not a great season, mind you, for Spurs.
No, well, not just him, but yeah, just all around Bentancur and Spurs alike. Yeah, definitely struggled. Speaking of struggling, I think Manuel Ugarte struggled in a Man United shirt himself. So they had a great season, but him himself, I don't think he's linked with a move away in the summer as well. So not going great for him, but he's still running that midfield, and we've just seen a wrestling match in the corner there. What I did like, I think he's given a free kick to Uruguay right. It's practically a corner on this near side, but unlike the game we saw previous, the Egypt game where the referee was trigger happy with the whistle, he's let a lot of the nitty gritty little kicks go in this game so far, the referee, and I've liked that. That's the first real free kick he's given, and he's got every right to give that one, because it was a ruck over, wasn't it? That's the best way to describe it.
Eventually gives it.
But he let it go for a long time, didn't he?
Yeah, it did. It was funny that it's like everyone's expecting it, and you think, but why? Why are you expecting a free kick there? Núñez in the box, camera lingers on him. Got his hair in cornrows. Don't know what that's about. Araujo puts the good-looking ball in. It's met But and the ball flicked back on the inside. It's not been cleared here, bobbling around inside the area, but eventually Saudi Arabia able to clear their lines. I didn't see who got that header in the box, but anyway, our referee Mariani pointing at somebody, wagging a finger. Don't know what that means. We'll take a look. Caceres in the box, hit the hand. Let's take another look. Where was that hand? Oh, he's trying to hide his hands behind his back, so you couldn't give that, could you? In fact, I'll come back to it. I think it's good defending, really. Get his block in, but take his hands away. It's amazing that ball hit his hand. He's trying to hide it that well.
I think so. It's point blank as well, isn't it? It's so he can't move. So it's every right. Yeah, they're going to appeal for it. Of course they are. But you know, that's a risky old back. But keeper going to get there. No, he isn't. I think they've just conceded a very cheap corner.
Well, Matthias Vini, the River Plate man, there just scraped the ball back with his studs. Nowhere near his goalkeeper, and for no real reason, he is giving away a corner kick. He will be hoping against hope that they can clear this away. Ahead of the kick-off, we saw Diego Godin. How they could do with him just to nod this one clear right now. He was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And same for Atletico de Madrid. Won a title with them, didn't he, as well? With Diego Costa in that team. Anyway, corner kick comes in. They've defended it pretty well. Ball headed away. El Dossari picks it up, the captain. Looking for a little spin and a turn. He can't shake off Varela. But good ball is inside. It gets a little bit tight. And then the ball just scooped away. Thumped up the line by Al Amri. And eventually Varela nods it back to his keeper, Fernando Muslera. And he goes to Araujo. Very quick that. And then they nearly turn into trouble there in the middle of the park. Vinia. It's sloppy there, I feel. Again, it's the heat, you know. I don't say that and blame mistakes on it, but I think it does. It just makes players a little bit hot and bothered. And we see sort of more unforced errors. Here may be an opportunity. They're trying to roll around the back. The ball somehow had kept in there. And then eventually the flag would go up for offside. And again, lung bursting stuff from Varela. And Vinyas trying to get involved. Can't be too far away from the hydration break. And there's, as soon as I say that, off they trudge. And then the drinks come on. Yeah, I'll have a double gin and tonic. Well, what are you having, Nathan? Energy drink?
Yes, I think that'll be mine, won't it? That's more vodka Red Bull. I'll join you on the alcohol.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think a lot of hard work there. I don't know who's shading, who's doing what to who. We haven't seen much end product, have we? Not really.
No, I think it's probably the slowest start to a game I've seen in the tournament so far. A bit of a slow burner. Saudi Arabia have been in this game. They're moving the ball around okay. The Uruguay, the couple of mistakes in there is what they need to be getting that man in the game, or Darwin Núñez. He needs to be making runs in behind, trying to find him. They haven't really been testing Saudi Arabia at all at the minute. Bit of a stalemate between the two in this one. You must think that they're struggling with the heat out there. Really muggy. You can see it's just a grey blue sky. It'll be very, very humid out there. Hard Rock Cafe. It's a Hard Rock stadium. It's very nice, isn't it, in Miami Gardens? It's a very nice stadium there. But Marco Bielsa's got a lot to say to his side. Rightfully so. It's not really. You can see what they're going for in his football. You can see it slightly, but you know they're probably not hitting the heights he's asking for.
No, maybe it was 10 degrees cooler. His tactics would work a little bit better. I'm not saying that they won't work, but also I'm struck by the fact that Uruguay have got a pretty average-looking squad, in my opinion. Now I'm going to ask you a question. This stadium at Miami, it's a good-looking stadium, is it not?
It's very nice.
Now, is it better than the Seattle stadium we've just seen? No, because I like the pyramid and the two great big sides.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's very characteristic, isn't it? That one we saw in Seattle. It was absolutely brilliant and fitting that they had the pyramids for the Egypt team. It was very fitting. Oh, it was a gorgeous stadium. Absolutely brilliant. You know, the two rectangle sides and then the triangles was Still a very nice stadium. What we've seen so far is that we've seen, that's what I can tip my hat at for the Mexico, Canada and USA. It's the fact we've seen some really nice stadiums. The pitches look immaculate out there.
I quite like the Levi Stadium. San Fran. Do you know the way to San Jose? Anyway, it's just west of that, Santa Clara. But you know what I mean. Right. Anyway, it looks like the players. I think goalkeepers. Well, I suppose they get thirsty as well, don't they? But anyway, you get hot just standing there, don't you? I always wonder if. I'm not sure the best thing to do would be go out and drink a litre of water before you go play football normally. But they must, it must be taxing stuff, really.
You normally see them take on a bit of fluid and spit it out, just to rinse your mouth out. But I think they do take on a little bit of fluid. Because you're probably just going to sweat it out.
We just saw a fella there absolutely glugging down a litre of water, didn't we? Just thinking, what the fuck? And you're sure you want to play?
Need the toilet in 5 minutes, don't you?
Yeah, I've got to go. I've got to go. Anyway.
It's a long hydration break, isn't it?
So, can we be bothered now? With siesta. Anyway, that's a quarter of the game gone. And after that hydration break, I'm going to, just to keep him awake, I'm going to hand over to Nathan to take us through to half time.
Thank you very much, Hogs. And we get underway with Saudi Arabia and Alawas, the goalkeeper, left side of his own box. And we're just waiting for the Italian referee Maurizio Mariani to get us back underway. Sporting pink tonight, you know what that is? Because he's paying tribute to Miami, where he's staying for 2 months with his officials. That's why he's chose to wear pink this evening. So he came out and said, the Italian referee. Ball's going to go long backwards. That's going to be dealt with at the back by Caceres on the bicycle kick. It's going to be Araujo in the centre to move it for Uruguay to come forward. That's a loose pass, and it didn't need to be in the centre. Evading his man, Varela, trying to get there, but you're throwing on halfway far side for Al-Harbi.
Is anybody going to play well at any point today?
We're waiting for this game to start showing a little bit of quality. It has had some, but they haven't tested each other's limits really, have they? And there has been a couple of mistakes out there.
Well, Nathan, they're testing my limits.
Patient limit. It's getting late here, isn't it? As a ball goes up into the centre, and there's a nudge there, I think, on there's a Uruguayan man on the floor. Sebastian Caceres. He's hit the deck. He's spotting a mask this evening, a facial injury he's protecting. It'll be a free kick. Of course, no Ronald Araujo, the Barcelona captain, misses out with a muscle injury. He'll be a big miss at the back for Uruguay.
Yep, absolutely. He's a good player in the. So far, they've not had much to do, though. Like I said, there's one striker, Albrican, and Saudi can't find him any more than Darwin Núñez can be found. Just as soon as I say that, it's a long ball aimed towards him. He's done as well as he could do there, and he hustled and harried, and the ball came off the Saudi player. But they need to find him somehow.
He's matched by Oliveira at the back, who plays his football in Serie A for Napoli. And it's Araujo again on the near side. There's a strong tackle that's gone in from Abdul Hamid. He's hit the deck. Maybe a kick out there. The referee's not interested, so it'll be a throw in near side. He's only got the 5 seconds, of course, before it's given back to the opposition, but he's thrown it in quickly. It's at the back, and they'll get on with it.
In the game that we had before this, the referee forgot, didn't he?
Was it 12 seconds we hit before, and he still allowed him to throw it in? It was poor first tournament game for him, unfortunately. Very green. Valverde inside, the captain, zip back out to the outside. That's good play around the corner. First time cross-ins, hit the first man, didn't catch it. Second bite at the cherry to lofted cross to the back post. Awkward option, headed back across, diving header. Oh, what a save! It's right at him. Another shot, it's over the bar, and it's going to be a goal kick. It's going to be a goal kick, and then a diving header anywhere but there. Al-Was was on the dramatics to save it, but anywhere but there for Federico Viñas, and it would have been 1-0 to Uruguay. That's, I'd say, the biggest chance, probably the only chance of the game. Good header back across to keep it alive by Araujo. Diving header, very, very brave. And then it was right at the keeper. It's one of them anywhere buts, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he almost catched it too cleanly. If it just comes off the corner of his head, if your head's a 50p piece, it needs to come off a corner rather than flush and straight. He can only head it the way he's aiming, in a sense. So I know why all that's happened. But it all opened up for the Oviedo man. He was just thinking, diving header. Like you said, he wasn't thinking about getting clattered. He got clattered by his own man after the fact. But they're just a little bit unlucky with that. And then the other thing, when that cross came in initially for Uruguay, I just thought, they're going to deal with the Saudis. And then they just backed off the ball a little bit, didn't they? I think that's because there's a lack of height. So the defender wanted to jockey rather than try and win a header. He felt he couldn't win. And that nearly cost him a goal.
It was close to see either side have come. Araujo, down the line it goes again by Varela to the byline. That's surely a push, it is. That's a waste by the Uruguay man. He's pushed him in the back, Valverde. He's got two hands in the Real Madrid man. It'll be a free kick right in the byline on the far side for Saudi Arabia. It's kicking from right to left now, Uruguay in this first half. Of course, Saudi Arabia looking to reach the knockout stages for the first time since 1994. Do you remember where that was held? It was America as well, can you believe? So, can they repeat the history?
I do remember Jack Charlton going mad and it being hot. All about subs not being Aldridge, and there was all sorts going on. That was a World Cup where Roy Keane decided he wasn't going to bother. Can't be bothered, lads. You're not professional enough. I think he views that as a mistake in his career now.
But he's had a few of them, I think. He's moved to the far side for Uruguay on halfway, pick the ball back up, and they're going to move it on. Ugarte keeps it moving, the Red Devil. And it goes backwards for Sebastian Caceres, moves it across to Oliveira, traps it with the left boot in the pink boots. Back once the way it came. 32 minutes on the clock. Saudi Arabia 0, Uruguay 0 in Group H match day 1. We've already had Spain, Cabo Verde 0-0 earlier in the day, so they sit on 1 point. So whoever, if anyone does win this game, they would go top of the table after match day number 1. Muslera in goal. He's just going to play it long from the edge of the box. Flicked on, trying to do it a second time there. And just couldn't be managed by Nunes. And it'll go all the way back to Al-Awas in goal. Left foot on the ball. On the edge of his own 6-yard box. He's going to kick it long. He's going to go for a searcher in. It's been allowed to bounce. One keeper, and he takes the chest. A little bit of a chance, but cool as you like in the Miami Heat. And he keeps it. Moves it on to his centre-back teammate, Caceres. He'll drive over halfway. It's positive play. He moves it inside to Varela. That's good play. He moved over to the near side. That's a little loose. Can it be kept in near side? Just about. And it's just kept dancing around by Avinia. And they keep it now, and it goes inside. That's better football from Uruguay. That's turning up the pressure cooker with Araujo. He just checks it backwards this time. Didn't see anyone in the box, and that distills into the point that Hogue's made about the lack of height.
I'll tell you what, Uruguay work a lot harder without the ball than they do when they've got it. When they've got it, everybody just stands there and takes a break, and it makes it really difficult. But there's not a lot of movement, is there really?
No.
Need to do better.
And they're going to try to do it now with Valverde. That's a good touch on the instep on the far touchline. Drives inside, maybe a chance to get it in the box. Zips it to Ugarte, tries to flick it back. It's not the pass. And Saudi Arabia just about keep hold of it. Al-Dawsari, the captain, just on that far side, collects the ball. He's actually giving it away. They're dancing around. Nunes wins it back on the far side. Knocks it inside. Moves it on again. Here they come. Oliveira moves it left. Vigna can get a ball in. Clips it to the back post. Keeper comes with a punch. Is there a touch on the keeper? There is. Got a bit too much on him. Nunes, and the referee deems that a foul. I think there was just about enough of a touch on the keeper, and that'll be a free kick. Relieves all the pressure.
Well, I'm surprised he could jump all that water. He just took on board Alaways, but he does come out and he gets a good punch. Nunez knows that he's second best to that. He's just going to make contact with him, dig him in the ribs.
He left one in there, didn't he?
Yeah, just to reduce it out. But they have a hug afterwards, and they've hugged it out.
They're all friends. They've shared sweat.
Yeah, Alaways anyway. Fair play to him. He could have gone down rolling around and all that there, try to get him booked. Here comes Saudi Arabia.
They're coming centrally now. Chance to get the ball forward if they can move it quickly. Ball into slightly aimless. Heads it to the near side. Be picked up by Al-Shamat. And he drops it backwards to Canu. And back to Al-Shamat. He just has it on the right flank, 25 yards from goal. Working it down the line. Looks like a hint of offside there. Flag stays down for now, but they've given the ball away. Chance to clear it with Vigna. Uruguay, but that's a loose pass forward looking for Nunes. There's too much on it, and then he's back with the team in green. Inside it goes with Al-Shamat, and he just plays a bit of triangle play. Maybe struggling in the heat, these two. It's definitely a slower pace now between these two. It's lacked a lot of creativity this game so far, and there's not been a heap of chances, it has to be said. Stats-wise, I mean, 1 shot, none on target for Saudi Arabia, 3 shots, 1 on target for Uruguay. And they're coming forward here. Oh, he's taking on 2. There's a clip there, maybe a hint of a card. I think the referee's just given the free kick. About 30 yards from goal centrally. That's a brilliant slalom run from the Saudi Arabia midfielder, Al-Kabari. Oh, he's been clipped quite aggressively as well. It's actually Al-Harbi, the left back. He skipped past 2 there. It was a very positive play.
Yeah, absolutely. He got going, didn't he? All of a sudden, stretching out those long legs of him, Moteb Al-Amri. And then I thought that should have been a yellow card as well, because it just looked like, oh, he's going on too far now, and then I better bring him down. Somebody clipped him from behind, like an ankle tap. Yeah, it should have been a card, but this referee, Maurizio Mariani, you know, he's not like the first referee of the tournament. He would have probably sent him off for that. But anyway, yeah, it was definitely a free kick. So it's a long way out though. It does look like Al Jawayat fancies his chances of giving it a hit, but I don't fancy it from this far out.
It would be a sensational free kick if he was to score here, and he's going to go for a dink into the back post. Keeper's come early and punched it. He was setting up like he was going to strike it and just clipped it, and he's punched it clear, and it should be a corner. The linesman's pointed for a goal kick there. I don't know what he saw, but is he giving an offside maybe? No one was interfering with play. This will be an interesting one to see. It should be a corner.
It is a corner.
It is a corner. I don't know what the linesman was flagging for, but he's gone over Al Jawar, and he's going to take the corner now as well.
It was a good free kick, wasn't it?
It was a good free kick. Dipping, he side foot dipped it. Bit of a knuckle. He's going to go with the out-swinging right-footed corner. Saudi Arabia near side, left arm up in the air. A lot of players forward here. He's going to go to the front post. Flick goes on. Oh, it's missed everywhere. Shot comes in. Oh, what a save that is. What a save that is. It's going to be another corner. It was a good effort by Almir. It was the centre-half. Amri. Oh, he's got it on the instep. He trapped it well, Al-Amri. And then the instep on the bounce. It was slightly central. A little bit of a camera save. But he's punched that away, and it's a good, strong wrist there. Big chance there for Saudi Arabia. Another corner. They're going to go again. They've gone short. It's the edge of the box. They're going to go to the back post. Man unmarked. He's going to head it back across. Is the keeper going to get there? He's in. Headed back across. Oh, he's missed it as well. The big number 9 up top. Oh, there's a chance there, and it's been cleared. A throw in on the far side. It'll be for Saudi Arabia. Al-Baraik, and he was close there. It nearly fell as well, and he would have slammed it home from 4 yards.
Yeah, we've seen a great save from Fernando Muslera. They're just showing us that again. Side foot. He was bringing the ball back into the keeper. Still a good save though. But again, just a moment for Abdullah Al-Amri to consider. He would have been a hero with a goal there. But here comes Saudi again. Shot comes in, but that's gone well wide. Almost closer to the corner flag than the goal.
Al-Baraikan, with their headed back across, he nearly got on the end of that. So Saudi Arabia now knocking on the door after Uruguay's initial push for goal. We got 6.5 from the break, from the mandatory 45 minutes done, and then any added on top. We always see a lot of added time in this tournament because of the 2 minutes hydration break we get halfway through the halves, and then you add on anything on top of that. So we always get at minimum 4 minutes. Uruguay on the ball with Viña, the left back. He's dallied on the ball there. There's a touch. Is that going to be a Saudi Arabia ball? It is. That's sloppy by the Uruguayan number 17. They'll throw it in. Al-Jawar, he's fighting away. He's done well. He's laid it to the edge of the box. He's just running into trouble, but he's done well there, the number 10. He's trying to dance around his man. One too many in the end. Al-Darsari. He's just given it away, but again Uruguay can't clear their lines, and it's moved to the near side. Abdul Hamid down the right hand side. Is he tripped there? Referee's not interested. Is he pushed there, or is that going to be a goal kick? Not once but twice. Is it going to be a corner? There's a bit of a lot to unravel here, Hogs. I don't know about you, but it looks like it's going to be a corner.
Yeah, I think so. Wow. I think definitely the ball came off Ugarte. Yeah, we're just looking at players from the past and all that.
Diego Forlan, fantastic striker, wasn't he?
He was, and now he seems to have a perm. Or maybe he always had curly hair and he just always straightened it, I don't know.
I thought you lose your hair when you get older. It looks like he's added more on.
He just goes, maybe he's eating a load of bread and butter. Makes your hair curl, so they used to tell me.
Corner's going to come in. Outswinger again comes in. Header comes in. Oh, the keeper's grabbed. No, it's 1-0 Saudi Arabia. It's 1-0 to Saudi Arabia, and it's Al Amri. He's the one that had that shot initially saved moments ago. He had the easiest shot in the world. Now it was a header that came in, spilled to him, and he was quickest to react, and he's tapped it in to the goal. Well, this wasn't on the cards for Uruguay, and at the minute, Saudi Arabia top Group H. 1-0.
Wow. Well, you know what? He wasn't far away before. The big centre-back in the mix there. You'd expect Uruguay to clear this ball out. It's a good header in from the number 5, Al Tambakti. But the keeper, what's he doing? He just spoons it back into open play. Little flick with his outstep there, his right boot. Keeper's made a right hash. You couldn't do any worse, could you? You really couldn't do any worse than that. He spooned the ball straight out. Wow. Anyway, there you go. Saudi Arabia do not care one jot what the keeper did there, Muslera. But that'll be his moment to ponder tonight when he goes to bed. Could I have done better? You should have done.
You taught as a keeper, if you can't get hold of it, you push it wide. And he's just spooned that.
Sling it one way or the other. It didn't make his mind up. It's like, yeah, you're gonna. It's a relatively easy save. Where you're going to put the ball? You know, if you can't catch it, where you can hit it, you can knock it, you can do whatever. You can try and knee it, head it, chest it. You can't do what he's just done. Spoon it back out into open play.
Really, really poor by him, Muslera. Really poor. And well, Uruguay have it all to do. These two faced each other in the group stages in 2018 in Rostov in Russia. Uruguay walked out 1-0 winners. Well, Saudi Arabia, the team, 1-0 up now, and they look like they want more. They're coming forward now again, and it's going centrally into midfield. And they're doing well. That's good feet in the centre, and they're going to flick it forward. That's not a good ball. And by Kano, in the end, it's not a good ball, and it'll go all the way through to the keeper. In the end, well, there we go. Marcelo Bielsa. Well, he'll be deep in thought. He's got a lot to say to his team at half-time. Way off the mark so far. They're definitely not favourites to top the group, Uruguay, but they'd be next in the mix to be going through in the top two with Spain. And they are way off the pace this evening. You talked about the climate. These teams that, you know, are used to playing in the heat and the humidity. Is that on show this evening? Because it looks hot and heavy out there. And that's loose and by Vina, and it should be a Saudi Arabia throw. He took too long on it, and he's been caught on it, and he's gone out for a throw at Saudi Arabia right in the corner. And it's starting to become a bit frustrating now for Uruguay.
Yeah, I said, looking at the squad, you're thinking, well, you know what? But you always look at Uruguay and just think, yeah, they've got one or two good players and all that, and it's going to have to be a team effort digging in. I felt all the way through this that they've been wasting their energy really, and that's robbing them when they actually get the ball. It's like they're working hard without the ball, too hard, and then when they get it, everybody seems to stop. They can't find Darwin Nunez. There's 2 players down now for Uruguay, and their first yellow card comes out. And he's at the goal scorer who gets carded, Al Amri, I think it is. But he's saying I couldn't do anything about that. I have to see that again because, well, there's a little push in the back, but Vinyas, he's kidding if he wants anything. I think it's a dangerous challenge, you could argue, on Araujo. He's gone with his head, and Al Amri's gone with the knee. I think he did. It's unintended and all that, but it's still a little bit dangerous, and I think the referee's right.
I do feel for him slightly. The referee's right, but he looks like he's trying to pull out with the boot, but the knee's obviously there and it's hit him in the shoulder blade, so yes, it is a yellow card, but I do feel for him in a way. But they have a free kick, Uruguay. A minute to go until we find out how much additional time they'll be added on by the Italian referee. A left-footed in-swinger from Araujo. A defensive line on the edge of their own box. They've sent a lot of players forward. It needs to be a good ball. It is to the back post. Headed back across. Keeper saves it. It's a good save. It's a flashy one as well. Al Hawass. Decent height for him. It wasn't a bad header back across goal. Meet the ball, head it back across once where it came. But it's a relatively routine save.
Yeah, I think so. I think that you either... That's hardly ever going to go in the way he's hitting it, but I feel like he should have got nodded it more on the inside. But we'll break across. Here come Uruguay. Real opportunity.
Araujo's coming down the line. Oh, it's hit the first man, and it probably shouldn't have. Al Amri's there again. Busy man, isn't he? He's player of the match so far. Got in the way of that. Araujo did well to get past his man, but The second clip cross didn't end up in the box. See what Les Celeste have on their cards. Of course, means the sky blue. Uruguay. Out-swinging corner for Araujo. We'll find out how much additional time there'll be. An out-swinging corner comes in. A header comes in. It's deflected and gone all the way through to the far side. It's going to be recycled. Another ball comes in. That's a poor one. That'll be headed clear by Tambakti. And it will be trying to be kept alive here for Uruguay. 4 added minutes. I think that's nearly every game. We've had 4 additional minutes. So it's diagonal ball for. Oh, that's a good ball. Araujo dinks it over the keeper. He didn't get enough on the purchase of the ball. He's asking for a penalty, but the whistle blows. But it's for an offside. It was a lovely crossfield ball, but he made the run too early offside.
Well, Max Araujo might have been onside there. That was too tight for him to flag. I don't think the flag went up, did it? But it didn't go in anyway. So I guess we say that. Looking at the goal again, and he's like a good striker, Abdullah Al Amri. It's like, I'm going to just stay in the pocket, see if the ball pops back out, and if it does, I'm going to be there first. That's what a good number 9 does, let alone his centre back. So it's quality that. I think saw Dominic Calvert-Lewin score a couple of goals like that this season. So. Yeah, he Fox in the box, all right. Uruguay now trying to make up for it. Here they go.
They're coming down the right-hand side. A low ball in, deflected straight into the keeper's hand. Took a nick off a Saudi man. It was Valverde trying to get a low ball in. Good idea. But an out-swinging leg. Every question they've asked, they've had an answer of Saudi Arabia so far. First tournament since 2002 without their all-time top goal scorers. With Luis Suarez and Edison Cavani, where are the goals going to come from? At the minute, it doesn't look like they're coming from anywhere for Uruguay. It's a long kick out. And Saudi Arabia take it down in the Uruguay half. Halfway through the 4 minutes added on, it's Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Al Amri with the goal 4 minutes before, 45 minutes from a corner spilled out by the keeper to tap home to give them the lead. And they currently top Group H. As the ball's going to be played backwards to Tambakti. Just Al Amri now just to play it forward and keep ball now for them. Not a lot of movement for Uruguay. Just letting Saudi Arabia have the ball. And back it goes to Tambakti. He just takes a touch with the pink boots. And he just stands still. There's no one coming
after the start that they'd made, I think they want to press the ball. But now they're waiting for a cue point to do that because they're tired. So it's like they want to close down. They want to keep a shape. But they've realised that they spent a lot of energy in the first 20 minutes, and now they can't keep up to that. So it's like they're waiting for a cue point. If Nunez goes in, then they all are going to press the ball. But a lot of the times now they just stood. So
do you think they've not been savvy enough with their stamina?
No, I don't know. I think they wanted to get up to a quick start. It didn't work out, and now we've seen a bit of a reaction to them going a goal down. They've actually played better since it went 1-0. But obviously they are behind now, so there's work for them to do.
And a bit of defending to do for Saudi Arabia as Uruguay come out centrally of the centre circle. He's actually gone right this time to Caceres. Studs on the ball. Need to get it moving. 30 seconds to go till we hear the half-time whistle. Dugarte just keeping it moving to the left-hand side. A run being made again. And it's a good run and a good ball. He's trying to get the ball in. Oh, it's a poor touch, Vigna. And he takes too long on the ball again. And that's his story. I think he's actually offside in the end.
Well, that's about his 4th mistake. I don't know if they've got anybody else. He's looking right down the line.
Too long.
And he shouldn't be going
too early. Pulled the trigger too early.
Yeah.
Touch as well.
Not that he could control it anyway.
Well,
yeah, he's had a poor first half.
Yes. Alawas will take the free kick. He needs to get on with it, of course. A breath of fresh air because we've not been allowed time wasting in this tournament so far. It's been fantastic to see. Bad for Arsenal, of course, if they were in this. It's going to be kicked long by the keeper. He's gone all the way out. Well, the Italian referee's blown for half-time, and this tournament keeps throwing up major talking points. Not going to script for the Sky Blues. At half-time, Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0.
Well, we've reached half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Well, the Celeste have really struggled to get going. Tried to press hard early doors. It just tired them out in the heat in Miami. For Saudi, they got better as the half progressed, really, and grabbed the first goal after Abdullah Al-Amri had a shot saved just a couple of minutes later. He followed in on a header that was pushed out by Muslera and got himself an easy tap-in. It's half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. La Celeste really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. La Celeste really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. La Celeste really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. La Celeste really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. La Celeste really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. La Celeste really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. La Celeste really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. La Celeste really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. La Celeste really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly player of the first half, Abdullah Al-Amri, had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and he ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly player of the first half, Abdullah Al-Amri, had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and he ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly player of the first half, Abdullah Al-Amri, had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and he ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly player of the first half, Abdullah Al-Amri, had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and he ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly player of the first half, Abdullah Al-Amri, had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and he ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly player of the first half, Abdullah Al-Amri, had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and he ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly player of the first half, Abdullah Al-Amri, had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and he ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly player of the first half, Abdullah Al-Amri, had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and he ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly player of the first half, Abdullah Al-Amri, had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and he ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly player of the first half, Abdullah Al-Amri, had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and he ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half-time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly played the first half. Abdullah Al-Amri had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly player of the first half, Abdullah Al-Amri, had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly player of the first half, Abdullah Al-Amri, had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly player of the first half, Abdullah Al-Amri, had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly player of the first half, Abdullah Al-Amri, had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly player of the first half, Abdullah Al-Amri, had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti that was pushed into open play by Fernando Muslera, and it ended up with a simple tap-in for Al-Amri. It's half time in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Leicester really struggled to get going in this game, but the Saudis have worked their way in and improved as the game went on. Certainly player of the first half, Abdullah Al-Amri, had an effort saved just a couple of minutes before he scored. He followed in a header from Hassan Al-Tambakti.
For that, Egypt. Anyway, we're back out there. I say we're back, but not everybody's back. And if you're Darwin Nunez, having scarcely had a kick, he'd wonder what he'd done wrong, but he'd not really done anything. That's why he went off. Matthias Vini did a lot of things wrong, and he got the left back. They brought on two midfielders, so neither me or Nathan can work out what they're doing. They may be three at the back and flooding midfield and playing Vini up top by himself. I don't know, but there needed to be something drastic done, because they weren't very good the first half.
No, they weren't. Way off it, and I think Marcelo Bielsa has addressed that, and he's already making substitutes, and I can respect him for it. Ball comes in, big header, and it's a great save as well. Huge chance already for Uruguay.
Yeah, it was big. I think Vinícius with the header, and he got a save. It does look like Canobia, who has come on, Agustin Canobia, Manu Sanabria, the other player, already added to the mix. They're into the box, an opportunity, and then the ball is just rolled out leisurely by Al-Tambakti, but it will be a throw-in. Yeah, ready for the countdown. 5, 4. Yeah, they've got the ball back in play. All getting used to that. Sticking a hand out. 5 in the air, counting down. Anyway, now Canobia on the ball, puts it in, loaded box. First touch wasn't great, and then a little flick, maybe a chance now. Ball scooped in the air. Canobia, can he get there? And no, well, the keeper didn't need to make a save there. The flag had gone up anyway. But what's happened? Uruguay have been replaced by a bunch of lads in blue who are really up for it and throwing themselves around. We've just seen that Vini header again. It was good, wasn't it?
It's fantastic. Round the corner diving header. It's a tough one to do. Heads it round the defender. Keeper gets down smartly. But or a camera save. I think he's had a couple of them, hasn't he?
Yeah. But it was a good effort, an relatively easy save. But Yeah, just to get that on target, stooping and flicking it around the corner is a good effort from Vinícius. So all of a sudden, Uruguay not strangers to the ball. Every man jack them trying to get something going. But what you give with one hand, maybe they take away with the defensive frailties. As I say, that ball stabbed forward by Al-Dosari, but Caceres comes across and blocks that one away. Well, we've had 2.5 minutes to second half, which have flown and shown that Uruguay, if they can keep this up, have got a great chance. But we know that they started off with plenty of promise, really, but it all fizzled away in the heat at Miami. 5, 4, 3, 2, and it's away. Well, they're doing well, the players, aren't they, to remember about the 5-second rule. Just shows what's possible. Just getting the ball back in play, it's good, isn't it? It's like if you're kids, you didn't make a big palaver out of a throw-in, did you? You just want to get the ball back in. Anyway, it's good news for football, I think. Anyway, little healer, Al-Dosari tried to run in, won't quite reach him, and now the counter-attack is on. Good little step over, and whoever that is on the left, I'm not sure who it is, picks the ball. It might have been Sanabria, because I guess he'd been brought on to replace Vinícius, even though he's a midfielder rather than a fullback. But anyway, Uruguay on the ball a lot more as they find Varela right hand side. He goes back on his inside. We haven't seen enough of Bentancur or indeed Ugarte, who both of them get a touch just there. Caceres out his feet. Oliveira now steps inside. Lots of players, still not a great deal of movement. Anyway, Uruguay looking for ball into the box. Canobio beats the first man, drives the byline, puts the cut back in. That ball's been put out of play by Al-Kaibari through a corner kick. Uruguay really forcing the pace right now.
Yeah, brilliant. Still not loads of movement, but they've got a bit more intensity with the ball. They actually look hungry to score, which is completely different to what we saw in the first half. So if they do keep this up like they do, they've got a very good chance at the back of the net.
Yeah, a good chance to get back into the game. It might allow the Saudis more counter-attacking chance. Ball comes in, there's a header, and it's gone just wide. There's a claim. Vinícius saying that he's scraped off. We'll find out. VAR will work that one out for you, kid. Don't you worry about that. But anyway, let's take another look at it. He wouldn't have been far away, would he?
Should be a corner, he's right.
Yeah. Just seemed to scrape off Altan-Bakti, didn't it?
There was a double deflection. It happened very fast, so you can forgive the referee, but unfortunately, yeah, he's missed that one. That was should have been a corner. Just for a second, I thought that was in the back of the net. It happened so quickly as well.
I think he was leaning back on that, wasn't he? Which made it a little bit more difficult. But Vinícius shown he's decent in the air. It's only a 12th game for him. A couple of goals for Uruguay, but from Oviedo, he's no youngster, even though it's 11th cap. He's 27. But anyway, it's Uruguay on the ball. Canobio is caught this time. Challenge came slightly from behind, but just a throw in given, much to his consternation. But it is a Uruguay throw, and I was thinking then for a second that play stopped. It just showed somebody in the crowd, Villalobos, but I don't know why, because the game's ongoing. Well, that was pretty terrible from Bentancur, just showing he's his all right foot, but his teammates bail him out when the ball back, an opportunity then. Sanabria, can he deliver a good ball? It's a good looking ball in, the header comes in and it floats away. But I tell you what, flag gone up again. Nathan's flag went up before the real flag, but Vinícius just getting ahead of the game.
Yeah, too eager. He knew he had to get that extra step to try and get on top of the ball. Unfortunately, yeah, he was offside. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. It would have been a goal kick in the end. But another ball in the box, and it's better from Uruguay. It is. It's much more positive. It's better than what we've seen in the opening 7 minutes. Bielsa said we need an early goal. Second half, we need to come out and hit the back of the net. Really take it to them before the heavy legs come in from the humidity. But we said that about the first half as well, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. I just think the impetus seems to have changed with the team. Maybe the other factor as well is that Saudi are 1-0 up, so they're all that second half and just think, we're all right. You go in at half time, everybody pats each other on the back, and everything's great. rather than we're going to be expecting an onslaught here. Uruguay going, probably at odds with each other. What do we need to do? Here they are at the edge of the box. Arau just lays the ball back. They go up one more. An opportunity then for Ella into the box, and they've won another corner kick here. They're coming on strong, and already we've seen that Venus is good in the air. They've got Caceres, Oliveira. Great opportunity here.
It is great defending. Al-Harbi closing that door as soon as possible. It was absolutely brilliant by him. Just when it looks like Uruguay in behind, they just get a body back. They've defended really well so far, Saudi Arabia, but yeah, they're definitely troubling from set pieces, Uruguay in the air.
Yeah, they sure are. Can they get it right now? Anyway, from the corner kick, the header comes in and it's cleared away. Was that going in? It might have been. And then the sort of fly hack of a kick straight to the hands of Mohamed Al-Owais. But anyway, you're doing a lot of counting, Nathan.
8 seconds, I keep was allowed with the ball in his hands. He's gone over that.
Does that mean 8 seconds after he gets up off the deck?
That's a question, isn't it? That's the question.
You were counting too soon, I think.
Do you think I was going too quickly as well?
Yeah. You've got to do it in thousands. 1,000?
Mississippi.
It's one Mississippi.
For America.
Yeah. Anyway, it is Saudi Arabia on the ball. Little give and go there, little triangle, but then a forced pass, and Uruguay have it back. And they're back with Oliveira. And he tabs the ball over the halfway line. We've seen less of Araujo in this half. Where's he gone? Just seen him now. He's walking around. Again, Venus wants to break the line there. Keeps turning, breaking into gaps. Can they find him now? Well, the ball goes deep into the box, and there's a chance for a header, but Canobio can't get the end of it. Varela has it through the box, though. Rolls the ball. Good ball to the edge of the area. Bentancur, not a great ball, but he's kept alive at least. And then Saudi Arabia able to clear their lines, but booted toward the halfway line. Anyway, will do. It's much better from Uruguay, isn't it? And for the moment, Giorgio Stonis just applauding his men, but they're just sitting back a little bit too deep now.
Yeah, they are. You can't sit deep like this for the rest of the half. It won't work. You're pulling the ball to your own goal. It just can't happen. And when they do come forward, they had an attack start the second half where they did look dangerous. They do have it there, but yeah, there's a lot of ball chasing going on here and pulling their own ball towards their own net. So need to be a bit more positive with it. Keep chasing it, try and double the lead, or it's only going to end one way.
Yeah, I feel that what Uruguay have done is very, even though they've taken the striker off, is been very positive in how they're going about their play. And a player got caught there. Uruguay man goes down rolling around. The referee seemed like he wanted to ignore that. I think there may have been a bit of play acting there from Canobia, but we're just showing the stud marks down his thigh.
Freddy Krueger.
Well, he didn't do that to himself, did he? He didn't happen on a blade of grass. He's going to be showing the referee here. But, yeah, there's contact. Was it necessary? Was it meant? Well, he kept a leg in the air for too long there, Al-Harbi, didn't he? It's like he left that foot in.
I disagree. I think that's just accidental. Looks like he spent the night with Freddy Krueger with that leg, doesn't it? the big red gashes down his thigh.
1, 2,
It's a great movie. It's a great movie, the classic horror.
Nothing happening at the minute. I watched that by myself once, then went out for it. I lived in Manchester, so I was a student. Then I went out for a drink. I walked around the corner of this dark street just as somebody else was coming around the corner. I screamed at this bloke, frightened the life out of him. Anyway,
it's in your dreams. Don't worry, it's not when you're away.
Yeah, but was I?
We sleepwalking, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, well, the referee saw the stripes down the leg, but he must have felt like you that really it was one of those accidental things that happens, i.e., an accident. I wasn't so sure, but anyway. Maybe a little bit older, Nathan. I'm more deeply cynical than you are. But the referee's not wanted to book, and he's let them get on with it. So he set the pattern, and we're both all right with it, I think. Nod. Anyway, now a thumbs up. Nathan's going to be doing this by emojis by next week. We'll try and send them along in e-nods.
I'll do it in sign language. That's how I'll commentate from now on.
Yeah, so that's all right by me. Listen, we get paid for it. I'd be happy enough with that. So Saudi Arabia won, Uruguay 0. Uruguay seen a lot more of the ball this second half. They've really come alive. Can they get a benefit from it? Kanobi has done well since he's come on. Commentator's curse. He's given the ball away. And now nice neat triangles from Saudi. The ball played beside Al Dorsari, their captain. And now again they're on the hurry up. Can they find neat enough football here to beat the press? No, they can't. That was good stuff from Caceres to win the ball, and just that they are swarming. That's a Bielsa ball kind of thing. They work hard. We're looking at who's that? Old Ronaldo.
R9.
Yeah. So he's. I think. He was definitely at the Brazil game, which was a cracking good game against Morocco. Not been too many bad games. I think this game's been pretty good as well now. This second half has really livened up as we see a ball in, but the header near post from Canobio is not as good as the cross in from Varela. But again, it's not it first time, get that flick, watch it, top corner, loop into the net, not this time.
Too much contact on it. That's the problem. He's got too true a contact and it's gone back once where it came. And it's he needs to be flicking that on behind him. There's two lads in there. Whether he sees them or not, I'm not quite sure. But if he can help it on its merry way, might have had a chance.
Anyway, never mind that. We've just seen Stoichkov.
Legend.
Was it the Euro? When were the Euros in England? 96, 86, 96. Well, he was playing anyway. He was playing at Ellen Road. And he was playing in front of the Spanish fans, and they were singing Risto Magico because he played for Barcelona at the time. He was quite something. Here come Uruguay. They're great and they're good. Some brilliant plays out the past, but who's going to write the name in at the moment? Could it be Varela? A good run from him. He's on the ball at the edge of the area. Player goes down. Canobio is saying, "Look, my boot's off. How did my boot come off?" I don't know, mate. And the shot comes in. Oh, you got it. Hit the post. Long range effort from him. He's done nothing. So close to scoring there. Keeper was caught out. LOA's nowhere to be seen. How unlucky is that?
There's your warning. That's your warning, isn't it? It's something from absolutely sheer nothing. It's a good effort from Ugarte. It felt like an age that ball was moving. Let's have another look. Going to get a replay of it. He just got half a yard. Took one touch out. Drilled it low. Wasn't the truest contact. He slightly topped it against the floor, but it went all the way through. Keeper slightly heavy-footed. He dived down. Did he get a touch?
He did get a touch. He saved it.
I'd like to see a view from behind to see if he's touched that away from goal, or it's
he
just
definitely did. We saw
credit.
We saw his fingers just pad onto the ball. Yeah. Didn't look obvious, that did it? He's down. Mohamed El Awais after that, and. Don't tell me he's cramped up and we're having a tactical timeout.
We're not allowed to do this.
Don't tell me that. They're going to be moaning. Well, Canobio's moaning the bucket because he felt that he was caught. He got shot on in the box before the ball came into him. You're not going to get that, are you?
No.
But he clearly had his heel shot on before you got his shot. From that angle again, we couldn't see how much. The keeper didn't need to get much of a touch for a shot that's going in, though, did he?
No, absolutely not. For a million camera angles in Hard Rock Stadium, you think we'd be able to find one where he's from behind, see how well he's tipped that onto the post, and if he's diverted that away from the side netting. Or not, he's still down, by the way. You haven't missed anything.
Well, all the players are supposed to go in the centre circle when goalkeeper's getting looked at, but they're clearly having a tactical timeout, Saudi Arabia, and they're going to make a change now as well, aren't they? We'll work out who's doing what to who, but it is their number 6 who's about to come on, and I can tell you that's Nasser Al Dorsari.
Second one on the field.
Yeah,
his captain's called that.
So, do you think he's related? He could be, couldn't he?
Mm.
Or it could be a hugely common name. He's a left back, defensive midfielder or central midfielder. So yeah, he's coming on somewhere. I'll clear that up for you in a second. Motebel Harby, I think he's had a decent game, but he's beginning to get overrun on that side with Varela and Canobio both playing well. It'd be interesting to see where he comes on. Alaves is all right now. Yeah, so he's coming on for Musab Al Jawaya. That's a very defensive change, I would have said.
I think he's hacking off a striker, isn't he? When he's dropping a number. Where he goes, we'll have to see. It could be a holding midfield trio. I don't think. If he goes 5 at the back, I'd be very surprised for Georgios Donis. I'd be very surprised if he comes on and goes 5 at the back. I think they'll stick with the 4, but he may just play a more holding midfield role, so they'll have the 5 in midfield, 4-5-1 maybe. I think that's what they may be looking at. We'll have to see. Yeah, it looks like just the one up top and Al Burakan.
I think that what we're seeing then is a nod to we're getting duffed up in midfield, and also we're a goal to the good. Let's hang on. He's playing central midfield. He's playing the pivot, and right in the middle. You're going to be working just around the D, try and protect the lead. So that's what I think he's doing, and. I think less and less we've seen Saudi Arabia on the counter-attack in this game. They've been pushed back second half. Canobio back on the ball. He beats his marker, just spins away from the captain, Al Dosari. Or maybe I'll call him Skip Al Dosari, because there's 2 on the field now. Little breakout just doesn't work there. They're going nowhere fast. Cano, hardly mentioned him really. It was one good block I think he did the first half. But Saudi Arabia working double hard here just to keep Uruguay at 0. As Varela ball back on his inside. And everybody getting a touch now, but can they get anything going? Sanabria. He's attempted ball in, he's blocked away, will be a throw-in. Well, there you go. Bielsa sat in something, isn't he? Sat in the cool box, I think, now, rather than a bucket that he had at Leeds. He's moved up in the world. Good cross into the box there, and the header out is poor for Al Tambakti, and almost like the goal with Muslera, just push it back into open play. That nearly happened there with that clearance. Uruguay all over Saudi Arabia like a cheap suit at the moment, but they just couldn't make it stick it in the box there. Little spin and a turn, just didn't work out. But they have the ball back though, just the edge of the area. Is that a foul? Referee's giving it. There's a wag of the finger from Nathan. He didn't believe it, but if the referee's been suckered into this, then so he has. Araujo went down, but was he really fouled?
Nah, soft. I think the Italian referee's had a good night, but I think he's fallen for that. He let one go about a second before, and that was a questionable one, and I think he thought, back to back, I'm going to have to give this one. I think he's, like you say, suckered into that.
Yeah, I think, Mohamed Al-Shamat, a little bit unlucky there, but like you said, it's probably, maybe I got that one wrong, and so I'm going to square it up with this. Anyway, Valverde's been quiet, hasn't he? Can he get anything going here? It's like a short corner, this. There's a bit more of an angle, and it's not right at the byline. On the left-hand side, he's all right foot, Valverde. Is he just going to force it in here? I'll try and beat the wall, make it flick in. Ugarte at the edge of the area. He does try and force it in. It's pummeled away. Back to Varela. Tries a shot, blocked. And that ball comes straight back out. Don't blame him.
Can't. He's trying to catch the keeper unawares. He's trying to put it for a crowd, hoping that someone gets a touch and forces it into the net. I was just watching Ugarte on the edge of the box. Could have just laid it to him. Obviously not a prolific goal scorer, but he wasn't marked.
No, he wasn't. He stood by himself. I think, it seemed an obvious thing to do, but that guy always seems to get closed down, doesn't he? Anyway, he put a ball in. It went through a sea of bodies, and keeper had to deal with it. he did pretty well there. His punch out was good enough. Anyway, here little breakout, but Varela able to block the ball down the field, looking for the striker. Vinias can't quite get there, but then Bentancur in the middle of the park. He's too strong there. Just wriggles away from the opposition, and the ball played too early for the referee. In fact, now they're taking this to a hydration break. So, in fact, not yet. So he'd just given a free kick. Nathan was wanting his vodka Red Bull. I was happy for, I think, a treble gin and tonic at this point.
So you're going to say espresso?
Steady on that. Anyway, it is Uruguay back on the ball. Well, they've dominated the second half. They've gone close. Ugarte, we think, had one tipped onto the post. If not, he'd had one drilled onto the post. That great ball across the face. Wow, there were three running onto that, and he beat all of them. Barajo at the far post, closest to it. Vinias was there. Canobia was there. It's a beautiful ball from Valverde, and he just didn't quite get the desired result. And now we do have that hydration break. Yeah, no lemon in mine. I don't need it. A couple of ice cubes. I will have a drink when I get home. I can't have a night without gin and tonic. So I'll.
Nice gin too.
I'll have to have a drink. Drinky poos. Anyway, it is 1-0. It's been one-way traffic second half. They've gone after it well. Uruguay just need a bit of luck now, don't they?
Yeah, they do. You know, they've dominated the second half. They absolutely have. 78% possession to Saudi Arabia's 22. They haven't even had a shot in the second half, the leaders of this game, whereas Uruguay have had 9. They're forcing it. They are forcing it. Saudi Arabia, I'm a bit slightly worried for them. I'm a little bit concerned because you were talking about them sitting deep, and what was that, the 54th minute? And it's been that way for the last 15 minutes, and you've still got 21 plus additional to go. That's a long time. They've rode their luck a couple of times, but they've defended very well, Saudi Arabia. It's just, you can see it coming. You know, we've watched enough football. You sort of know what's about to come. Unfortunately for them, I just think they needed to be a bit more positive, push them away. The attack's the best form of defence. Unfortunately, they're sitting in deep, and you can see it coming.
I think so. I think that as well, if Uruguay are able to score that goal relatively early in this next quarter, it'll be a real momentum shift as well, and then it'd be so difficult for the Greens to sort of pull themselves back up. They'll be disappointed, and also they're in shape to defend, aren't they? So all of a sudden turning that around. But equally, I cannot gift Uruguay a goal. So that's where we're at with this. Still slugging away, or sipping away, or as we saw in the first hydration break, we surprised how much water one of the lads took on. He took a whole half litre, didn't he? Half-litre bottle.
I think them Hard Rock Stadium urinals would be taking a battering at half time, wouldn't they, in that changing room?
And another change about to be made. So for Uruguay, we're going to see Nicolas de la Cruz come on. Again, another midfielder, central midfielder. Only a little fella, 5'6", but no youngster either. But again, he's another one who plays at Flamengo. Scored a few goals as well, 5 goals for Uruguay. So he's a man on a mission. He's always scored goals in his career, and it looks like Manuel Ugarte has run his race.
And he came the closest from anyone in the sky blue top. Manuel Ugarte hitting the stump of the post. He's run his race. He looks very tired as well, doesn't he? So he'll come off. Hasn't done too bad. Done a bit more than Bentancur, has to be said, but he's run his race.
Yep, absolutely. Anyway, we've 3/4 of the way through the game now. You're listening to Independent Off-Tube Studio Commentary in Miami. It is Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0, and it's going to be Nathan now to take us through to full time.
Thanks, Oaks. Very much. As Alawas is going to take this left-footed goal kick. He's going to kick it long with the left foot over to the near side, right to left in this second half for Saudi Arabia. We haven't seen them in the Uruguay half pretty much at all. Someone's hit the deck. I think it's The substitute Canobio, yeah, he's taking
he keeps going down.
He keeps flinging himself, doesn't he?
I mean, he did get that the stripe down his thigh, but I think he wants to go down, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a bit Grealish about him, a bit of Jackie Grealish about him.
Oh no, he's not. Grealish is a nice man.
No comment. As the ball's moved down the near side to that man, and the number 14 runs inside, does well, zips it in. It's a good run as well. Valverde had his best, driving into the box, trying to pull it through, just couldn't get through the Saudi Arabia defender. And it's going to be a Uruguay corner. It's going to be on the near side. It's good play by Valverde into the centre now in the second half, and he's much more comfortable on that right side. Third corner of the game. It's going to go, the third one for Uruguay, to the front post. Put that in his back of his own net there, the Uruguay defender. That's rattled the side netting.
Well, he's hardly had a kick as the Albrican. He was just doing a bit of warming up there, getting a shot on target, but hit the side netting.
Valverde, deeper ball in. Oh, good defensive header on the 6-yard box. De La Cruz picks it up. Top left-hand corner of the box goes backwards.
That was so close to meeting the head of Caceres there, who was driving in.
De La Cruz with the ball in. It's gone over everyone. Goal kick. It's poor ball in.
Poor ball. Poor ball. Anyway, Saudi Arabia now, it's like a defending machine, isn't it? But Albrican so close to putting in his own net. Ball fair pinged off his head. Wowee. But there you go. Is it going to work out for Uruguay? And then the other thing is, of course, if they manage a draw, then all the teams in the group will be on a point apiece. And even a defeat in this game to Uruguay, they'll think, well, if we beat Cabo Verde, 3 points, it might be enough to take us through to the next round of fixtures. You don't know, do you?
Look, teams are coming out thinking that as long as you get one win, you're in with a very good shot of it. Of course, third place playoffs and so on and so forth. Albuquerque, he's taken a whack. I think the referee's given a free kick. Albuquerque's taken one to the back. He's up now. We haven't missed anything. He's just been.
I don't think it's plagued tonight because the Uruguay players stopped. They knew he'd got tagged. Yeah. If he was messing about, they wouldn't be having that at all. You know what they're like for gamesmanship. I think it's a bit of a national pastime, isn't it? Anyway.
75 on the clock, Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0. Al Amri giving them the lead 4 minutes before the break with a tap in from close range after the keeper spilled it. They have themselves a throw-in on the near side. Al Harbi will assess the options he has. He's going to launch it down the line. It's probably the right option. Al Burakan can't really keep hold of it. Bit of defending to do here at the back for Caceres. Hasn't had a lot to do to the second half, but not cleared their lines, and a seldom attack for Saudi Arabia down the left-hand flank. Can they get a ball into the box? They're just going to keep hold of it with the captain. Aldasari, he's going to go inside. That's a loose pass inside and picked off. Chance to get on a counter-attack if they can move the ball quickly here. Comfortable on the ball. De La Cruz in the centre. He's been rugby tackled down to the floor. What a ruck over. We're seeing another one of them twice in this game. He avoids the yellow card, which I'm quite surprised with. He stopped an attack there. I think that should have been a yellow card there for the number 26, Al Shamat.
But then Al Shamat was harshly judged before, so maybe he's trying to square things up a bit, our referee.
Has moved over to the near side, Varela, and it's Canobio down the line, stood on the ball, waiting for movement. Drops it back to Varela, 25 yards out, edge of the box, down the line to Canobio once again. Left-footed ball in, it's not a bad one to the back post. Defensive headed clearing it. They're trying to recycle, bang in the centre of the Saudi Arabia half. They're going back to go forwards now. The Sky Blues. Caceres plays for Club America. De La Cruz back to Caceres. Sebastian Caceres just stood on the ball, waiting for a bit of movement. Again, not a lot of movement off ball for Uruguay. And looking for the 1-2 down the line. It's loose and erratic by the team trailing, and Saudi Arabia have picked off the ball left hand side of their own half. Near side, as we can see it, deep in their own. That's a poor clearance, and they're just about going to get away with it. Flick round the corner, a long ball going to go through, and they may just get in behind here, but a good pace at the back from Caceres up against the Saudi Arabia captain, who's just got it back to the keeper. Better ball, and he could have been in there.
Maybe absolutely on the right of the edge this game there. Saudi did well to get the ball back, and then typical Bielsa ball, they got swarmed, didn't they, in their left-hand corner. Here they come again, Uruguay. Is it going to drop for them one of those games, isn't it? You have that feeling we usually say they could play till midnight, but we're past midnight, aren't we? And so, they're running out of time now, but they're on the front foot, and I think that they would feel that they should be able to do something. As soon as I say that, they lose the ball.
Well, I don't know about you, my spidey senses are tingling a little bit. I just get the sense that we're on the edge of something else happening. I don't think this is it. I don't think the story's written. Maybe. Well, it's Uruguay after all, isn't it?
Yeah, but our referee's not. He's not getting carried away, and he probably thought, "Oh, here we go. I've got Uruguay. There's going to be all sorts going on, and I better not be booking too many because I'll end up sending off." And if that's true, Maurizio Mariani, fair play to you. The game hasn't been played in a bad spirit, though, not at all, has it? I think it's later when it gets to the nitty-gritty that, I do seem to remember, I'm not being funny, but I do remember Luis Suarez biting somebody. I don't, do you know what I mean?
There's the ceiling, that's the level.
Yeah, or saving one like he's the goalkeeper, Maybe that's just Suarez, but I have a feeling that there's a win at all costs about Uruguay, and when it gets to the stage where if they need snookers or something, maybe that'll be drawn out of them. But for the minute, they're playing football, and they look like they might have an answer.
Canobio inside, back to go out. Varela, right-footed cross, thought about it. Back on the left, launching it. That looks like it's overhit. Is it going to be kept in on the far side? Just about by the number 21, Venus. And there'll be a left-footed cross into the box. Not a bad one. Missed the header, and it's just been flicked clear. Maybe a chance for a counter-attack if they can play their cards right. Captain's got it near side. Al-Dawari, he's giving it away now. Ball down the line for Canobio. Too much on it, but he may just collect it. He's going to recycle because they haven't cleared their lines again. Man, guess who's hit the deck? It's going to be laid back. De La Cruz does have a shot on him. He's going to go for it. Oh, blocked right in front of him at source, and rightfully so. It's on that weaker left, but by gum, that was hit.
He scores goals. You can tell that he's playing like second striker and hovering around the centre, waiting for his opportunity. Canobio's on his feet here for a change. That does make a change. You were about to say he's fouled, and then you said he's gone to ground, and I thought there was a good use of language there.
No, thank you very much. Left-hand side, ball in the box, doesn't look bad. Header comes in straight, the keeper. It's in the back of the net, it may be offside. Hold your horses, but it has hit the back of the net for now. 10 minutes to go. And the number 20, Araujo, who was fantastic in the first half for Uruguay, gone silent, but then he's tapped it in from close range. It's another story about a keeper spilling it at that end, and he spilt it right to Araujo, who's fired it into the front post, and you can't say Uruguay don't deserve it. Dominant in the second half. 10 minutes from the end, they've snatched it away from Saudi Arabia. No talking of offside for now, and at the minute it's Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 1.
What I want, Nathan, is whenever football's happening, I want you to have my phone number and tell me when your spidey senses are tingling. Right? So, and then I'll have a bet. Anyway,
he's onside, it's a goal.
He is onside. He forced it in at that near post. And I think they've been good value for it. In fairness, they've forced the pace, they've been aggressive, and good for them. It does look like change is being made. Looks like goal scorer's going off, doesn't it? And say that last touch being a goal. Well, I just got you back in it when I left the field, lads. It's up to you now. But yeah, turn of events, and now all square in this group. So everybody's starting to point at the minute. But like we said, now there's 10 minutes plus added time, Nathan. And then one team's on the front foot and the other one's thinking, well, we had a lead, we've got all defensive, and now what do we need to do? Surely Saudi now need to make changes.
Yeah, it looks like Bouchal may have just come on for them. I will confirm, but yeah, it looks like Araujo has gone off. I think that substitution was already ready before he hit the back of the net. Brian Rodriguez, the man who plays for Club America, comes on. Another Club America player, the 26-year-old, comes on in his place. That is confirmed. Will confirm the Saudi Arabia one if and when. Canobio, can they go out and get this and turn it around? They've been brilliant in the second half. Uruguay sat too deep and negatively. Saudi Arabia, it's not been good enough. Should have been more positive, and that ball has eventually hit the back of the net with 10 to play as they move it around. Bouchal has come on for Al Shamat. on that right wing. So the number 26 gone off and Bouchal has come on. That's a shot. Is it taken a nick? It has. There's going to be another Uruguay corner on the near side. 8 to play plus additional, and we're level. For a long time, Saudi Arabia were top of Group H, looking to get to the knockout stages for the first time since '94. And that was in America as well, but only looks like one team are going to hit the back of the net again. De La Cruz, outswinging right-footed corner. The number 7 put some good balls in the box from set pieces. Another one in, a header comes in, it's flashed over the top to the far side. It's not a bad attempt from the big number 3, Sebastian Caceres, with the mask on. He's moving like Batman in the dark, but he's just over the... You've seen them land in, loop in at the back post.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that could be it. It's a great opportunity, but not taken. And like we said, it's amazing how the momentum can swing. They were poor, really, weren't they? First half, Uruguay, Saudi got into the game and eventually grabbed a goal. But Uruguay were poor. He made some good changes, though, Bielsa. Here they go now, a shot. Oh, whistling wide. And Rodriguez, I think it was Brian Rodriguez's first real effort. He hit it really clean and hard, but unfortunately always going wide.
God, that moved, didn't it? Swerved and curled all in one. Really stabbed through it. Brian Rodriguez moving from left to right with that right foot across goal. Keeper was scrambling, but just gone wide of the post. Abu Al-Shamat has gone off, confirmed, and on in his place is the number 13.
Now Abu Wasal. So I thought I'd get in there first. Yeah, so for Saudi, that made many changes, have they really? It would appear that, you know, they're dealing better with the heat. You know, a lot of their players don't seem to have tanked, but they've just been sat low blocking second half, so they wouldn't really necessarily expended that much energy. They haven't supported attacks, have they, second half? But I think sometimes you get out of the habit of that. You end up defending because you're all set up to defend, and then that's all you end up doing as they win the ball. But they haven't got any players up the field there. They can win ball and then they find they're surrounded again, don't they? But somehow they've got a throw there.
I've been disappointed with Saudi Arabia in the second half after such a superb first. It's almost like the manager's gone, let's sit in, we've done the work at 1-0.
Well, here we go. We've got a Greek manager, right? You know, how did Greece win the Euros? Well, they won it by scraping goals here and there and hanging on for grim life to them, and that got a fairly mediocre team a title. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes that's the way you roll, and that's going to be successful for other teams. It's not good to watch, and nowadays a decent team will find a way through you. But here at Uruguay again,
down the left hand side to the byline, clipped in. It's not a bad ball. Keeper's come with the punch. He's done the right thing. If it can be followed up, Brian Rodriguez moves it to Varela. And it's just on the right flank, right of the box with Canobio. Can he get a ball in? He can. He's been allowed to. It's flashed across the face of goal. Back across it comes, cleared this time. And it will be carried clear by the substitute. He needs to release it. He's surrounded by 3. He's won a throw in far side. He's done well. I'm not going to discredit Greece. And I will say the compliment I can give Saudi Arabia is they didn't concede until 10 minutes before the end. So they were almost there.
They were nearly there. And you can understand them doing what they're doing. You know, with all honesty, it's like, you know, that last attack, Uruguay, Vinas was in the box, stood by himself. And he was, and long after play stopped, he's like, look, I was here. I was ready for my tapping. Here comes Saudi Arabia. Have they got something in attack now? Can they spring an attack out of nothing?
Al-Harbi, left side of the box. If he can get it in, they've put some numbers in the box. It's a good one too. He's in the box and he pulls it back across. It can't be cleared just yet. There was a control in there. They've let it down, and it's a pass that's fired right at him. Can't control it. Uruguay can carry it clean. Is he going to give a foul? Referee seen nothing in it. And then they're going to go for goal from range. It's all becoming a bit hectic at the minute and a little bit erratic. And then another shot's come in just over the bar from the number 12. It's just gone over the top. Wasn't a bad attempt by Abdul Hamid. And they just sat off, tired legs out there.
Yeah, it was a good shot from Saud Abdul Hamid, the Lens player. And just needed to dip a little bit more, didn't it, to maybe get the keeper to make a save. But all of a sudden they'd come to life there. Uruguay, for the first time in this second half, just taking a breather now, because they'd been hard at it, haven't they? You can see him just puffing and blowing. They got back and they're comfortable at one apiece now. But the way they're set up, they could be going for the kill. Here they are again, rolling forward.
Had a brilliant season, Lawrence, didn't they? Very unlucky for the title. Cross going to come in from the left side from Rodriguez. Good block on it, and it should be a corner. I think they're saying offside, and he's in despair. The number 25, Sanabria, hasn't brought a lot in the game. He looks onside to me. The number 5, Tambakti's playing him on, and I think he had a case. He was looking right across the line, the number 25, and he's been deemed offside. Sanabria, so it will be a free kick.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, bad decision.
They were players stood offside, but they were nowhere near the ball, were they, when it got chopped over? But anyway, it is what it is. Just 2 minutes left of regulation play. We thought the last game we were going to get more minutes than we did, but we'd get at least 5, I would have thought.
Yes, absolutely. We were a bit short-strawed, weren't we, last time out, but we should get at least 5 or 6, I'd say, as it's going to come forward now. Caceres moves it across to Oliveira, the Napoli man, and it moves over to Sanabria. A chance to come forward, drives narrowly inside to the centre circle, goes across the centre circle to Caceres, who's just at walking pace at the minute. The tempo has dropped out ever so slightly. Hogs is right. Just sort of been a very intense second half for Uruguay. De La Cruz. Centrally it goes inside and moved to the far side. Rodriguez, right-footed ball in, it's a teaser as well, good defending. It's going to be cleared for a Uruguay corner. They're asking for anything here, Saudi Arabia. They're throwing themselves to the floor. Tambakti this time screaming in pain and rolling around. He's going to be okay.
I think he's
spoiler alert, I got spider senses are tingling. I think he's going to be all right.
Yeah, referee pulls him to his feet there, just like,
funny, come on, get on with it.
Yeah, come on, mate.
Get on with it.
There's going to be another change for Uruguay. They may not do it before the corner. It's a striker coming on, Aguirre.
Yeah, plays for Tigres. Corner taken, cleared out. De La Cruz going to recycle it over to the far side. It goes, left-footed ball back into the box of the back post. Header comes in, it's high and hanging. Keeper needs to get it dealt with. He punches it. Clear. A lot of players just at walking pace for Saudi Arabia look very tired. It's going to be floated to the near side looking for the skipper. It's a loose header that comes in from Varela. That's a bit of a poor one. It will be a throw-in for Saudi just shy of halfway. And it looks like the number 21 is going to be coming off. And that is Vinas Federico. Vinas, 9 goals for him this campaign. He's going to make way.
I think he's played all right today.
Yeah, he's been all right.
A little bit unlucky. Looks like a decent head of the ball. Gets a pat on the head there from his teammates. They'd take the point now, wouldn't they? But Rodrigo Aguirre, I'll be hoping he could come on and score a goal. Again, he's not no spring lamb at 31. They've got lots of experienced players.
Loose tackle goes in. Referee's not happy with that one. Free kick comes in. He's not going to his pocket. We've just got the 1 yellow card in this game. And it's gone to the goal scorer actually just before the break. And just Caceres on the ball on halfway. He's standing still again. 7 added minutes we've got in this one. Enough time for either of these two to go out and grab a winner, that's for sure. It's gone down line. And the one player that does have a lot of energy is the captain. We've got a couple of substitutions coming for Saudi Arabia. He's going to play it inside. That was a wrong option. He had an overlap on there as well, and he's apologised. It's not a good pass. Uruguay on transition. Going to be coming forward here with Rodriguez. Strafing down the left flank. He has an overlap that he will use. He's pulled back. De La Cruz goes for goal straight at the keeper. Flaps at it. Put it back into the vicinity of a bad area. Valverde's going to move it to the far side. Ball's going to come back in again. They can't tell them what they have. Aguirre this time. He's just going to clear it. Saudi Arabia. Another bit of a camera save there by the goalkeeper, but he has kept it out. Varela's going to collect the ball. He has a man down his line. It's going to be used as well. 1-2. Varela with the ball in, doesn't look like a bad one to the back post. That'll be shepherded out. Another corner comes to Uruguay, and they up the tempo.
Yeah, in 7 minutes of added time, De La Cruz there's come on. He's had a couple of pile driving shots that have been blocked away. We're going to see a triple change now for the Saudis. You know, you just said they looked out on their feet. They'd gone so well for so long, and then I think a few players have all tanked at the same time because visibly they'd just dropped off, hadn't they? And you noted that. So, yeah, so here we go, 19-3 and 18 come on. Work out who that is. Abdullah Al Hamdam is one of those. He's a striker.
He is. Number 24 is going to make way as well. Al Harbi is going to make well. Al Barakan will be coming off as well. 3 substitutions there. So number 18 will be coming on in his place. Al Haji will be coming on. 3 substitutions. Maybe it's just to shore up that defence. I'm not really sure. They have got a striker coming on, but at this point I think they'll just be hanging on. They've gone edges, and it's going to Valverde, who's gone for goal. It's a brilliant save around the corner. He's gone low to the bottom left corner. Oh, the keeper's holding his groin now. It's going to be pathetic from the keeper, I won't lie. It's a great save down to his bottom left, but he's pushed it round for a corner. Brilliant effort. That's Valverde at his best. Side foot, low and hard. It's a great save around the corner. His groin's going to be fine.
I think so. Good save though. Ball just bounced in front of him. It is a corner kick though. De La Cruz is going to take it. Real opportunity here for Uruguay.
Ball's going to come in now. Header comes in. It's flashed past the post. It's not a million miles away from Caceres. Again, 3 minutes into the 7 added on. That's gone past the right post. They're getting ever closer. They're knocking on the door, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Absolutely, they are.
Only one team's going to win this.
It would appear. We said there'd be that momentum shift from half time. There's only been one team, and it almost took them to go goal down to wake them up today, didn't it? Anyway, a waste is a waste in everybody's time there.
I like it.
And the referee urges him to play on. And here comes Saudi Arabia now, but they'd lost the ball. Clever stuff there from Bentancur.
Nice by the Spurs man, moves it far side. Rodriguez on the ball, traps it with the left foot. He has an overlap and he's going to use him down the line. That's good play. Just a heavy bit of legs and coming across Lajami to put it out for a throw in on the far side. The 5 seconds is counted by me, not by the referee. He doesn't look interested in counting it at this late stage. 3 minutes to go. It's 1 apiece. We may just have 2 draws in Group H in match day 1. It's over to Canobio on the near side. De La Cruz going to go backwards, running out of time, these 2 sides, and it's over to De La Cruz, the number 7. Can't find an outlet. They're sitting in deep now, Saudi Arabia. They only look interested in one thing, and that's a draw. It's with Varela, the right back, who's very central now. Valverde is going to go for goal. Defender's got a touch on it. Canobio's going to take it down right hand side of the box, flicks it inside to De La Cruz, backwards to Valverde. Shot comes in, another block comes in, and another corner for Uruguay.
Yeah, they are all over them, aren't they? They are all over them, and the Saudi boys are looking on. They've run their race, don't they? They were much better first half, but they've been really pegged back second half. And if Uruguay get a winner here, they would deserve it, I think.
Ball's going to come in swinger. It's out to the edge of the box. Shot comes in from Barela. It's hit the first man. Oh, he's kicked at his man. That's surely a foul as well. Referee's not interested. Play continues. Over to the far side it goes. Chance to get the ball into the box. Wrong way in the next. Back to De La Cruz, and back it goes to Rodrigo Bentancur. Keeping hold of it. Just under 2 minutes to play. Caceres down the right hand side. He's asked too much of himself. That's a poor touch. It's all getting a bit ugly. Slide tackle comes in on the far side. It'll be a throw in near side for Uruguay. Will they do a long throw? Canobio, he may just leave it. He's got 5 seconds to do it.
Yeah, you don't have long to think about it, do you?
There you go.
So they have to take the throw in quickly, but they do. So well, just a minute left really. Can they get the win that actually they probably would deserve?
Yes, left side of the box. Shot comes in straight. The keeper is flapped at it. Didn't look comfortable on it. Another corner, and it's going to be a minute to play. He's saying his sight was restricted. Had a couple of players in front of him and it was caught well, but in swinger from De La Cruz. Gone short to the edge of the box to Valverde, and back out to that far side. Back to Valverde, down the line to De La Cruz, inside the box, stabs it in. It's come off another defender. Chance for another corner. Just under a minute to play. I think they've just got to get this one in the box.
Well, now the goalkeeper's eyes have got cramp. I think they should do.
Valverde's gone short to De La Cruz. Just get the ball in the box. He stood still. De La Cruz lays it back to Valverde, and across it comes. Awkward angle now. It's central. It's going to go out back to the far side. Just put it in the box. You've got 20 seconds in. It goes to the back post. Defensive header's a good one, and hook clear as well. And it comes all the way out, and Varela's going to get it and collect it on the throw. nearer halfway. They've got 10 seconds. Italian referee's had a glance. Play will keep going. Sanabria down the line. He's going to want it back on that right foot to get it in the box. Step overs one and the next. No real gap down the line to the byline. He's going to have to hook it back across off a defender. That might just be enough. And it's going to go out to the far side. Referee's had a glance at the watch. He's happy to continue. There's been substitutions in the 7 minutes. So he's going to add on the minimum 7 minutes. Over to the near side to Caceres. And over to the near side. Needs to go in the box. Canobio. Backwards it goes. Players wait in the box. It's going to be hooked in. It's going to be a defensive header out. De La Cruz edges far side. There's a man over if he can use him. Down the line it goes. Big chance. Hit the first man. It will go out. Is the corner going to be allowed to be taken? Saudi Arabia asking for the full-time whistle. And they're complaining. They're saying the substitutions have been made, and this is why he's adding on time. It's nearly 8 minutes now. This is it. Last chance. It's either a draw or a Uruguay are going to nick it right at the death. In swinger, it's going to come in from Rodriguez, the substitute. In it comes now. Defensive header up to the back post. Shot comes in. It's another defensive header. Referee has a glance on. The full-time whistle blows. 2 draws in Group H. To go all teams on 1 point. A well-earned draw in the end for Saudi Arabia. Uruguay could not get the job done in the end. But a full-time in Miami. It's Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 1.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back